It's time for the Ghostfire Media Network podcast show, featuring the stars of iRacing's IDRL and the AOLL. Now, here's your host, the Ghostfire Media Network crew. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night of Ghostfire Media podcasting. And it's a full cast tonight as we have Nick Adams, Adam Wood, and Carl Henderson in the house. And
oh, yeah, brother.
Well, what a rush.
Can we go back to how it was last week with just the three of us?
Yeah. That was, that was a nice, enjoyable time.
I thought it worked really well.
That was good, Nick. I give you credit for that one.
Carl, I love you, but I hate you.
Well,
I loved it last night. I loved the last night's comment of Carl was classic.
What did he say?
Carl just decided he was going to spot for us in the group.
Get out of here.
Nick pops in and says, "Okay, guys, I got to take him. We'll take care of this." No, I've got it. Get out of here, Nick.
No. That isn't how it happened. I'm already sitting in there.
That's exactly. I didn't know you were in there to spot. Yeah, I came home because I missed the start.
Josh said, "Oh, we've already got a spotter," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm in here, man." And you're like, "Oh, okay." And
that's not what happened. You son of a bitch. You said I got.
Then I said get out. Then I said get out.
I was pissed off because you said I've got this. Get out. And I was like, you fucking bastard! I'm gonna come through that microphone and smack him.
Boom.
Oh no, this
was great. And then he goes, get out of here. You can go up in the booth and hang with Adam. He needs somebody.
It's okay. I made that the most exciting TNT broadcast in the last 6 months. Adam had a better broadcast. Adam had the best broadcast partner he's had since Larry left.
Gee, thanks a lot. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, the only one with any experience. So, yeah,
hey,
whatever.
Listen, like I said, you make it way better on Tuesdays. I missed you so much on Tuesday night. Can you please, for the love of God, you chose Charlotte and then Talladega to not be here. Of all races, you chose the longest one of the season and the single file parade. You're killing me.
I'm sorry.
Killing me.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sure you found something to talk about. You always do.
I did. I don't remember what it was, but I did.
Good. All right. So
there was the point that you started reading off sports scores.
Oh yeah, no, I did the GFM sports score update. That's right. Was the Yankees are up 6-1 in the bottom of the third inning over the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees with this win can clinch the division and clinch the playoff spot. Will they be able to get it? Back to the race, folks. I had nothing else to talk about. The race was single file. I had to do something. My wife said, "Hey, the Bruins are on." I was like, "Oh, sports scores."
You know, that's kind of what I did in radio. I'd come on and I would actually give you all the sports scores from the day and the night before, and then I'd go through the dogs and I'd give you, what dogs were racing at the dog track, and I'd go, "This is a dog that you want to bet on. Lucky 7 right here. He's won 6 races in the last blah blah." And I wouldn't know anything about it. I just would spout him off. I didn't know if this dog really won anything or not. But people go, "Oh, I think we'll go Lucky 7 because he said to go bet Lucky 7.
20 minutes later, this radio station got a call. "Hey, I lost $1 million. I listened to Randy Pepper."
All right, idiot. All right, let's talk about what's really going on with our life. So we'll do Nick last because we know he's had a lot going on. Carl, how's your week been going, man?
It's been going great so far. Pretty uneventful in the racing world. Not much happened this week, and I got a haircut today, which means that they left this alone and got this trimmed up. So overall, good day. I can't complain.
Carl, they missed that singular hair on the top of your head.
Oh, I'm actually hanging on to that one. Like,
are you trying to grow that one out?
Yeah,
it's like Homer Simpson there.
And I mean, you've just got a few more of those than I do. But
my father has My father has no hair right here. He has like the full head of hair on the side, but he has one one long brown hair in the center of his head. And I'm like, you ever going to cut that? He goes, no, I'm going to die with that. This is all going to fall out. This is going to be here forever.
It's like that comic, Blondie's husband. Is it Dagwood or something like that? It's got the little, That's what it's like.
All right. And Adam, how's your week going?
A lot of personal things going on. It wasn't a great week, but hey, next week is another week. We'll get to it and see how that week will turn out for me.
I saw your post, 365 days left.
Yeah, that's about as much as I got left in the military. Can't wait to finally be done with that. So it's
So you're probably looking at your countdown each day like I am for my cruise.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, technically I'll be out in late June. But I won't be fully out of the military until October 1st of next year. So basically, today, 1 year from now, I will be a retired person and can enjoy my life.
Can I ask you a question here? Since you were in the Army or are in the Army, if you get out of the Army, can you go join the Marines or something like that? Or are you not allowed to do that?
I mean, there's a lot of people that's crossed over branches. I've actually been with a couple of guys that were in the Marines, got out, did stuff with their lives, and decided, hey, I want to join the military again, and they came back in the Army. And I mean, you can do that. You just gotta meet the age requirements. You can't. I think it's like 35, 36. You can't come back in. And then if you stay out more than like 4 or 5 years, then you got to redo boot camp. So there's a lot of different stipulations of coming back in. And some people like to, when they come back in, they want to reclass and do something different from what they were doing prior. So if they were doing something, their specialty in either a different branch of the military or the actual Army, they come back in like, well, that was a stupid mistake. I shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. I want to try this now. They're like, all right, well, cool. Now you got to go back and go to another school to learn all that stuff.
I love it when I ask a question, pretty much a yes and no answer, and I get the whole book. Not even the cliff notes. You got me covered. I mean, if I ever want to know something detailed, I just ask you, Adam, because you'll tell me from the start to the finish what really goes on. So
I save a lot of extra parts out there too. So
oh, really?
Yeah, I gave it the slim down version. We like to talk in the military. We love to talk. We love to just hear ourselves talk. So we can go on and on about anything. It's called, we call it hip pocket training, like I'm doing right now, just shooting off the hip right now, and just can tell you anything you ever want to know about anything. I can just go off of it, tangents, and that's kind of like what we do. Is we love to give training off the hip and just go off on tangents while people are just sitting around.
Well, let's talk to somebody that does like to talk quite a bit. What's been going on with you, Nick?
I think I found my new career. I'd fit right in. No, I could never. You know why? Because I can't. I'm not good with authority.
I would love to see you try to do boot camp. Could you imagine him doing boot camp?
A lot of people say that, but they wouldn't get there. I mean,
I get women walking down my
there's
stairs.
Some people get terrified of the drill sergeants.
His wife commented. Oh, that's perfect. Oh,
yeah,
that's perfect.
I didn't read it. What is it? Read it to me, please.
She says, "Yeah, he can."
Yeah, I can talk. And, so
that's perfect.
There's a lot of people who think that when they go to boot camp, that drill sergeant's not going to say anything. Well, they get their attitude adjusted really quick. And me, I love you too, hon. Me, I thought it was a game. I did ROTC in high school and kind of saw how everything was. And when we went to boot camp, I was just like, this is pretty hilarious to watch the drill sergeant just annihilate people's lives and just yell at them and scream at them. And internally, my head's just laughing. I am laughing so hard, and but shouldn't have probably been that way. But that was my mentality that got me through those wonderful 9 weeks of hell.
I can see you doing that because your humor is a little off center. What do you don't know how to drive? The meme or mime or whatever you keep posting about the guy that not know how to drive. My meme.
But yeah, no, it's something that it's a coping mechanism that gets you through 20 years of the military.
The mime of you. The mime Oh God, Randy, this is why I love doing broadcasts with you. But yes, I'm fine. I had a
I just
fine week.
goof off. I love throwing stuff out there. Just
I've
kinda
been a
goof
grumpy
off.
bastard all week, but
So,
You've been. Oh yeah, you've been very grumpy. We've seen that in action all this week. You've had a
well,
terrible week, and we
you
know all
know,
about it. I mean, you let your personal life interfere with other people's lives.
well, you know, when here,
hey, let's talk about fuel. Let's go in the fuel. We got Delonte Ballard waiting in the
how
wings.
was I not able
We
to
have-
talk about my
Wait,
week?
No, we're
Wait,
good.
no,
we're
we
good.
need to let him. No, come on. Just let him talk about what outside of racing. How has life been with Nick outside of racing?
And that's enough for us today. Let's go ahead.
There's nothing other to talk about.
No,
He
there
has
is
nothing else.
There is. If anybody who's not doing anything that's unemployed, if you want to go get your CDL, Waste Management is hiring.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us.
We don't
Hey,
have any
God.
drivers. God, I need drivers.
Did you know that a guy threw out a Britney Spears blow up doll yesterday?
Nick's like, holy crap, they threw mine out?
Get the fuck up.
well,
Well, that's
there's
it.
an F-bomb.
Wow, he's gone.
But all right,
was offensive.
so this week we're gonna go with the Fuel Racing League, man. We saw some exciting action from the Red Bull Ring. We got Delonte Ballard as our guest. So let's go ahead and pull him in and see how his night's going. Hey Delonte, this is the Ghostfire Media Podcast. I'm not going to introduce everybody here. Everybody's it's kind of weird to go around the horn for that one. But hey, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
I'm
Yeah,
doing-
good.
Hey man, so welcome to the wonderful podcast episode 26 now. We're getting up there in the world. We're up there to 26 episodes. So once we get people on here, we like to learn a little bit about you, both personal and iRacing version. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, your hobbies, if you got some out of sim racing experience in the real world, and then tell us about your sim racing experience. How did it start and develop it, and where you're at in the world?
Let's see. Start. 32 years old. I've been sim racing about 23 years now, all the way back to NR3, I think, was the first sim that I ever touched. But
Wow.
yeah, 32 years old, from Newport News, Virginia. I do for work is I build aircraft carriers for the Navy. So that's fun, I guess, if you could say, in a way. Hobbies, not much. Anything. I sit down. Sometimes I like to build computers. Depends on what I got going on. First person shooter games is mainly what I do on computer when it comes to gaming and stuff. I kind of somewhat tune myself out of sim racing world. When you do it for so long, you get kind of burnt out on sim racing every day, and that's what I was doing when I first go into iRacing. I think I was sim racing for like 6 years straight, like every day. Get off work, come home, and jump on. So yeah, over time you do that, you kind of tune yourself out. But here and there, I get the urge to want to plug the wheel back up and come race, and that's pretty much how I ended up getting into Fuel with Alan Elwood and the guys. Me and Alan go back a few years. It went to a league called Gunner 4SR, where we first met each other, and we kind of hit off the bat then. And it's actually Alan's the reason I'm in the state I am now when it comes to iRacing with the Coke series, spotting for Jake Nichols in the Coke series, and on Bobby D. Earnhardt legacy. So yeah, that's pretty much a little bit about me.
So how'd you get involved in that?
So like I said, date back to when me and Alan first met. He was already on a team. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Slip Angle Motorsports, which was the team with Ray Alfala, Brian Blackford, stuff like that. So he was actually on that team, or I think he was on the team at the time. and he was like, "Hey, I feel like you got some talent. You should try to run for pro." And at the time, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm good enough for those guys or not." But he brought me out a couple times to meet Ray through TeamSpeak and stuff like that, and we talked, and I started practicing with them, and that's where I ended up meeting Jake Nichols and Kyle Putz, who was a former Pro Series Coke Series driver at the time. It was peak antifreeze series, so we kind of hit it off the bat. I don't know. Alan was friends with I can't forget the guy's name. I mean, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was friends with somebody else. He ended up going to another team. I ended up being good friends with Jake, and I pretty much stuck with them, and I was on with Slip Angle. And then yeah, I was the one that kind of discovered me and Kyle Putz discovered Bobby Zielinski in another league that we ran in, and now Bobby Zielinski is one of the fastest Coke Series drivers out there. We kind of developed him into that until he slipped off to another team. But yeah, so when I stuck with them, I was just pretty much a driver. I did some road to pro races. I was somewhat decent. Open setup is a different world, and then the fixed setup stuff that we do now. So they always tell me that I'm just a completely different driver when it comes to to open setups. But fixed setup sometimes is not really my thing, depending on how the car feels. But yeah, so pretty much I stuck with Slip Angle. I've been with Slip Angle since 2000, early 2016. And it was just last year where we announced that we were going to be leaving Slip Angle, and we all merged over with Bobby D. Earnhardt's Legacy, and that's where I've been since. And yep, just on the top of the pit board and spotting for Jake in the Coke Series. That's a lot of fun doing that, and we're doing somewhat decent this season. We're trying to stay in the hunt for Jake to keep his license, and we got our heads pretty much up, so we feel comfortable with the route we're going right now.
So in that series, is that a paid gig or is that just a freebie?
For me, it's just a freebie. With Jake being that we're so good of friends, and I mean, if I ever did want something out of him down the road, I'm pretty sure Jake would have no problem, hooking me up. But no, it's just, me and him are good friends. He doesn't have to pay me for anything. Now, if he wins a championship, that's a different story. I mean, I think that's $100K there or something like that.
I was
But
thinking there was some money involved in somewhere.
yeah,
down the
oh
line.
yeah.
Yeah.
If he gets up there to the big bucks, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll have no problem, giving some up. But no, it's just a freebie, just a close friend thing. He looks out for me anytime I need some help. It's been a couple times in Fuel where he will pop in and chat in my ear and say, "Hey, this is what you need to do," and stuff like that. So he's definitely watching the Fuel races, keeping an eye out on me and stuff.
Cool. Very cool.
He could follow Ghostfire Media on Twitter, give us a retweet. We'd find some followers out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked to him before this. I was like, "Hey, I got a message to be a special guest on the podcast," and I was like, "Well, don't be surprised if I'm going to talk a lot about you, because it's not really much about me going on in sim racing. I'm riding your coattails here." So I did say, I was like, I mean, if they want to bring you back one day, are you up for it? And he really didn't ask me yet, but I'm pretty sure if it was the time that y'all did want to do a special guest with him, I can probably get him on here with y'all.
I mean, hey man, don't sell yourself too short, man. You sound like you've got a huge backing behind you, and I mean, in Fuel, you've been up there almost week in and week out. I know you haven't been there, I think, the past 2 weeks, but I mean, before that, I mean, your name has come off my tongue quite a bit. To be able to put yourself up front. And you haven't been able to get the top 3 just yet, but I mean, you're strike at the door, knocking, trying to strike in that top 3 every week.
Yeah, the qualifying, I need to qualify better, but in the race, yeah, I'm normally good. It's always something that's going on. I try to figure out what Cameron and them are doing so well when they're running up front, and I'm just because I haven't sim raced before Fuel. I haven't sim raced in about 6-7 months, and I just picked up the wheel and just got back in it. So I mean, there was really no rust for me. It was just getting my foot inputs back of where I need to hit my braking points and where my throttle points at and stuff like that. Because when it comes to the B car, I absolutely love the B car. I mean, I can leave iRacing for 2 years, jump into a B car, and I could be still top notch where I was at when I left. But the other cars on the service is a little bit different for me, and I just can't grasp it as quick. It might take me a couple runs, or it might take me one race. Who knows?
I think though, I mean, if you've been out for about 6, 8 months, so and coming back into it for this season, I mean, iRacing has put together some better tracks, in my opinion, for the dynamic grip aspect. That kind of makes these cars run a little bit different on the tracks. For these one groove tracks that we used to have now have two, maybe three different grooves that we're allowed to run. So it makes for a different race than probably what you're used to.
Oh yeah, I did when they first put that update out. I did try Auto Club. I think everybody was running Auto Club. I think Homestead was another one too. But Auto Club, it was just crazy to go diving into turn one and you're going straight to the bottom, and the rest of the field is on the top lane, and you're like, "What the hell is going on?" And they're
Yeah.
passing you, and I'm like, what did I miss?" But of course, I'm like, my team is telling me, "Hey, this is the updates. This is going on." Blah 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 blah. But it was just bizarre seeing it happen right there on my screen. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is nobody on the bottom lane?
Yeah. Why am I getting left in the dust here? Like, this is where I'm supposed to be at. This is the norm. Everybody else is doing something different.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit to get back into it, and then I don't think you're doing anything bad, because I mean, like I said, you've been up there. Your name has been mentioned quite a bit. You've led a few laps this year. You've been up there. Been a strong force to be reckoned with. It's just you need to get that solid finish at the end and kind of solidify it.
I tried to get that at, what was it? Was it North Wilkesboro? One of y'all was betting against me because I stayed on those tires. I forget which one it was.
Oh,
Wasn't
man.
me because I'm not on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody was. I went back and watched the broadcast, and one of y'all was betting against me because I stayed on those old tires, and I held my stuff for a good. I think it was like 40 laps. I was up there until I pitted again.
Yeah, North Wilkesboro's, it's finicky depending on which car you bring to that, and I don't think any of the newer stuff should be going to it, especially the top three of each series should be going to that one. But when you go there, I mean, it's each car brings a different dynamic to that track to try to figure out and how the tires are going to work versus the handling of the car, if you're going to be able to do anything with it on older tires. So yeah, I mean, betting against you is one of those things that fresh tires, you think that's going to actually have the better advantage over people who stayed out there on older tires.
Oh yeah, I mean it's always supposed to be. But now with these new updates with iRacing, you can actually take two tires and still be up front, or you can, depending on the track and how many fresh tires, you might have 15 laps on your tires. If you're at a short track, it's gonna work fine. But if you're at a track like Auto Club, Atlanta, Charlotte, stuff like that, it might not work out so well for you. But I've seen it happen.
Delonte, what's your what is your forte? Like, what do you like the best to drive? What do you get out there? If you road courses, super speedways, short tracks, what?
I'm a short track guy. Anybody that talk to Alan, Jake, all them guys know when it comes to a short track, and when you put Richmond on a schedule, I'm automatically going to be at the top. That is my track. I think if you look at some stats of mine on iRacing or on, I think it's called Sim Racing Hub now. It's not Dan Lease anymore, but pretty sure I've probably never finished outside the top five at any Richmond race that I've done, but the ones that I wrecked out on, which is only a handful. But yeah, Richmond is one of that's my home track. One, not my closest home track, but my home NASCAR circuit. My closest track would actually be Langley, but it's just like 10 minutes away. But Richmond, I don't know. It's something about Richmond, and it goes back to the NR2K3 days. I've always been good there, and I mean, I'm good at Martinsville as well. But normally, it's the short tracks that I'm normally up front easily on. That's why at North Wilkesboro, I was hanging up there with them.
Now, how old were you when you were racing NASCAR 2003?
Let's see. I think I was 13 when I was racing there. I
Wow.
think it was 13. Yeah, I think it or was it 12? It might have been
Yeah.
12 because I think that's when I won my first championship. I actually got those trophies somewhere in here in my room.
Well, so speaking of that, I've got to ask you. You know, you said you're 32, and I'm 36. But that, I mean, surprisingly, I mean, 32 makes you one of the old guys in the fuel league, which has been a weird transition for me as well. But I mean, you know, you've been in the league now. I mean, we're in race 9. What do you think about the league so far?
The league is good. It could have its moments. Well, like every league is gonna have. I mean, even the real NASCAR, they have their moments where somebody can be boneheaded or do a boneheaded move, get too anxious and do a move that probably wasn't the best move to do at that second. But um, all in all, it's good. It's got good core members. I see, being that I've directed numerous leagues, and this one actually has a good foundation. Um, it might be a couple people in the field that kind of I got to look at a certain way. Like, okay, this guy's coming up to me. How is he going to race me? And 9 times in 10, when I'm doing that, if I have to sit there and consider the way you're going to drive me, it's probably because of something my teammates have done. And that's a good thing that I noticed too, is that my teammates get into it, and we talk about it all the time, so I can be blunt about it. My teammates do some boneheaded moves sometimes. I'm talking about in fuel with the VRA guys. We do some boneheaded moves sometimes, and it does backfire on us sometimes. And we might get to a race where I'm like, oh God, this guy's going to race me like hell because Cameron did something earlier race to him, or Shane did something early in the race, or it just happens like that. But generally, this season, nobody's really ran me hard, and I actually like that they're racing me for who I am and not racing me for what team I'm on.
Yeah, I
Right
mean,
on.
it can be backfiring, and I think everybody there so far shows a lot of respect between each other, and everybody has a lot of talent that goes through, and everybody feels that I I'm gonna race you clean because you race me clean. Like, everybody isn't out there trying to be dirty. I think I think I missed one of the controversy races of the USA International. I wasn't there for that one, but every other race that I've been in, I mean, everybody races everybody pretty cleanly, and they give everybody plenty of room, but at the same time, they just give you enough room for you to be able to drive your line, and they're going to continue to drive their line. And and be very challenging to get by, or they're going to challenge you for that position, but safely.
So,
Yeah.
Lante, I heard you say something before you get into that. I heard you do a. So what was all that about?
Yeah, USA, that was one of those races. It was a good race. All in all, it was a lot of me, like I told y'all before, I'm a short track guy, so a lot of the beating and banging, I like that stuff. The beating and banging where you can control the car, not the beating and banging where you have no control of your car and you're going spinning. But if I can dive off in turn one, hit you in the back end, and you might get loose, but it's savable. I like that kind of racing. The door
Hey,
beating and
Rubbin's
stuff like that. I
racing.
like that. Yeah, Robin's racing. Now, if you come into the corner and straight up send it, that's not racing. I don't. That's gonna cause the drama and stuff like that. And I think it happened a couple times that race, but
Three times.
short track.
Three
Yeah, I was about
times.
to say, 3
It
times
was,
that race.
it was
Short,
3 times.
it's short track racing though. Tempers can get flared. You don't want to get bumped, especially if you're leading and you get bumped out the way. That's the problem. Because I'm looking at the stats now. I see Bressy led 61 laps, fastest car on the track. To whether he did the fastest lap of the race, and he came in second. Now I don't know if that's because of any bumping going on or not, because I think I got wrecked in that race going into 3, but that was a fun race though. All in all, even though it was a lot of yelling and a lot of drama going on, but it was all in all a fun race for me.
Gotcha. So we're coming up to Talladega. What's your views on super speedway racing?
Hate it.
Hate it.
I completely hate it. Yep, I completely hate it. But I have had some luck in super speedway races. I've won a couple of them before in other leagues and in on iRacing not hosted races, but what is it called? What the rated races, I guess you could call it.
Officials.
But official. There
Yeah.
we go. Official
I call those
races.
pickup races.
Well, yeah, then you got the pickup cup, but yeah, super speedways are fun in a way. I don't like it because all it takes is one person's mess up. I think I was just talking to a buddy of mine on another Discord that I'm on that knows nothing about racing, and we were watching. Oh, wasn't they just at a super speedway? I think it was Daytona race, and no, it was Talladega because that was Tuesday night with the Coke Series ran there. And I was explaining to them, like, we're in a pack the whole race 43, 40 cars, how many ever cars are in the pack. All it takes is one mess up.
Yep.
The leader can go into turn one and his nose start itching. He sneezed. You know, most people, when they sneeze, they close their eyes. The next thing you know,
Wheel
you're up
fell
the
off.
track. Yeah, you're up the track, and that's it. That's chaos. And it's happened to me before where I literally sneezed going into a corner and I raced up the track. But I mean, luckily we didn't die from that situation and wreck. But it's just when you go into a super speedway race like that, it's like my mindset is okay, either I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna run up front, or I'm gonna go in here and some point of the race I'm gonna get caught in a big one. And if you don't go into a speedway race and feel that way, then I don't know which you are on when you go into the race, because that's literally what I'm thinking of. Either I'm gonna finish or I'm gonna wreck.
Gotcha.
How many of the guys you think get drunk before they get into one of those races?
I don't know. I have been in a couple races with some guys that I've seen drunk, slurring all over the mic, talking junk to people. But I can tell you one thing. I've did it one time. It was a long time ago. A couple guys on Slip Angle at the time, teammates of mine. I think we was doing. I don't know if y'all. No, it was Norgar. Old league. Everybody in iRacing pretty much knows Norgar. I think he was doing some races and he threw up a race at it was at Michigan in the trucks. I was probably about 3 shots of Jack in. I had about 2 beers and we're just having a good time on TeamSpeak. And you can tell I was drunk. I swear to you, my teammates told me, Kyle Putz, it was Kyle Putz that told me. He said, "You race better when you're drunk than you are sober."
You take better
Yeah, they
shots.
told that to Jimi
drove.
Hendrix too.
I drove from 25th to 5th in like 3 laps under green, no wrecks, nobody got loose out the groove, any of that. And it was funny. And then he was like, from there on out, he was like, "You need to drink every race." And I was like, "Nah, I did not like it because I didn't care." Now, if you tell me a points race is getting ready to happen, I'm not gonna do that. But for a race that's just a hosted race that everybody's there to have fun, yeah, I have no problem going in there drinking.
I got you, man. So, what we like to do here is we like to pick our winners. Who do you think is going to win next Monday night at Talladega?
Talladega, next one night. I'm gonna have to throw my name in the hat. If I'm in there, like I told y'all, if I come in there with the great mindset of I'm coming here to finish the race, I think I'll be up front.
I gotcha. I'll go next. I'm gonna go with Thomas Bressy. He's shown that he's been able to put together some really good super speedway racing. So I'm gonna go with Thomas Bressy. What about you, Carl?
Yeah. So, Nick, are you racing this week?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I'm still not picking you.
Well, you're just a prick. You are such a prick. God, I have the worst fucking teammates.
So
Oh.
I'm going with the guy who had a really great race at Daytona. It's an easy, didn't finish well, but I am picking Michael Stroll.
That's always a good pick. What about you, there, Nick Adams?
Carl's a prick. I want to say that first. That's part of my.
I just
call
want to
here.
say, Carl, don't forget that at Daytona, Nick was our halfway point leader.
He was. He's a solid super speedway racer, which is why I teased that I was going to pick him.
Yeah, so I'm calling my shot. This is my one. This is probably my only chance to ever win a fuel race, a super speedway. So this one's mine. I want Dega so
Wow.
bad. I love super speedways. There's nothing better than them. It takes so much
I'll ask Randy. I know he
everything.
doesn't have that much of invested interest into fuel because he doesn't broadcast or race.
I actually watch it. I usually watch most of the races each week.
Randy,
okay.
remember you broadcast with me on Tuesdays. You have to deal with me sometime on Thursdays. Come on.
Yeah. So I'm actually, you know what? I've enjoyed talking to Delonte so much. I am going to agree with him. I think he's going to win this race. I'm
Hey,
going to
there
give
we
it to him.
go.
I've really enjoyed your conversation, man. You've been a
So
lot
it's
of
either
lot
it's
of fun
going to work
talk to.
for you, or if you've ever watched our podcast, this is your commentator's curse. Good luck, bud.
Hurst.
Oh God.
Yeah, Michael
I
Stoll.
mean,
Yeah, I pick him a
So-
lot.
So what's going to happen is on lap 2, because I called my shot, me and you were going to get together because you were you were a
Right.
guest on this podcast. And in half a second, 3 of the picks are just going to be gone.
Yep.
so
And you know what? Well, we're there. We'll take out Michael Stroll just to mess with Carl.
All right.
This is a legit thing with me. In past leagues where mid race I do get called in for an interview, and I, get an interview. Oh, how's your race? How's the car feeling? The car's feeling great. Blah blah blah. Literally, as soon as we go back green, I will get caught up in a wreck. That is a curse of mine.
Oh, it is. We have this thing called the Ghost Fire Meter Commentator's Curse. It is a thing. We pull
Yeah.
people in, they wreck.
Every time on Tuesday night when I point somebody out for our IVRL league, I'm like, hey, he's got a great race going. 3 laps later, he's in the
Yep.
wall. It's usually Adam,
that's
too.
True.
It's
Yeah.
usually
That's
Adam
true.
because I'm always going, oh, Adam's having such a good race. And Adam Wood's in the wall, folks.
Yep.
Destroying me.
It's like you hear it, and it's like, oh man, this is fire. I need to do good now. They're watching.
Yeah.
Go into the next corner, and you just get loose.
Yeah, you try a little harder and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have tried harder.
Stop
Yep.
looking at my car.
Well, a lot of drivers, which is pretty interesting. We found out a lot of guys will actually have the broadcast on as they're racing, and they'll listen to what we're talking about, and then they'll use us as seeing what's happening up in front. So that's what they kind of dictate their race to. So you might want to turn on the broadcast while racing now.
We give out helpful hints here and there about what's going on with life, and ways we think we would run a little bit better or differently. So that's kind of what we do up here in the booth. It's kind of fun to be able to try to. I call, what's his name? The former football quarterback from Dallas Cowboys. He's out there.
Troy Aikman.
No, the other one, the one that
Bart Starr.
the one that's recently.
Yeah,
Tony Romo?
Tony Romo. There we go. Romo.
Uh-oh.
Romo
Good
goes out.
Lord.
Tony Romo goes out there, and this man's like, all right, watch this. You see the defense? All right, they're going to run up the middle right here. All right, cool. I kind of see like the play-by-play.
Oh,
kind of feel like
yeah.
him. Like Tony
Adam.
Romo, I feel he goes out there and he really has really good vision of what's going on. And as a broadcaster, he puts out some really good info. It's like, all right, they're gonna pass up the slant right here. They're gonna drive across the field right here. Like,
So, Adam, what the proper way to introduce Tony Romo is the greatest Cowboys quarterback to never win a Super Bowl because he wasn't actually that great, Tony Romo.
No, actually, you name his stud muffin Tony Romo because he seemed like he did every hot-looking chick in Hollywood there for a while, didn't he?
I called him
I
Tony
mean, you
Homo
could just
to piss
call
my
him-
buddy off.
You could just call him the third Drew Bledsoe replacement and the second one to be an abject failure at winning championships. The only one that's any good is the greatest of all time, my guy, Tom Brady.
All right.
Wait, no,
see-
he's my guy because he's part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hey,
funny
listen,
thing
I will
is, when
follow
the-
Tom wherever he goes.
When it comes to
Delonte wants
Romo,
to say something.
when it comes to Romo, see, I have one vision of him because I am a Seahawks fan, and I don't
Who's
know
on
if y'all
pick
I don't know if y'all are knowing where I'm going with this, but it was that one season for the playoff spot that the Cowboys went in.
Mhm.
Romo was the place kicker, or the placeholder,
Yeah.
and messed up that and tried to run it into the end zone, and which caused Seattle to go to the Super Bowl for the first time.
That was 2006's Super Bowl because I was deployed in Iraq at that time, and my buddy was a diehard Cowboys fan. Mark Lemire, if you're out there watching this, that one's on you, bud. But yeah, that's what that one happened. He dropped the football on that one.
Yeah, he tried to be the second quarterback to replace Drew Bledsoe to go to a Super Bowl the first year he replaced him. It didn't work very well.
No, it did not.
I do like that those two are always going to be tied together by the Drew Bledsoe conversation there.
All right, man. Hey, but hey, we appreciate you being able to come on tonight and get to know you a little bit better, and we hope to see you on the track doing pretty well here at Talladega this coming Monday.
Yeah, don't let me down.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to.
All right.
All right, man. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
thanks, guys. All right, y'all too.
Thanks, man.
All righty.
I think that's the second most popular guest we've ever had here in Ghost Fire Media. Like, not
I
popular,
liked it.
most famous.
I liked him. I mean, I thought he was an enjoyable guest.
Right behind Pat, because Pat's the most famous person we've ever had here.
Well, Pat,
That's
there's a
second
very
But we
good
had him
chance.
for like 30 seconds. We
For
need
30
Yeah,
seconds, but
I actually got to talk to him. I
we
like
got
him. He's a good
we
guy.
got a very good chance. The first week of November, either that Friday, we'd have that Friday before the big NASCAR race. Pat will be on here because I'm going to broadcast from his house.
All right.
So
Sorry, I can't stop smiling. Now I'm going to be happy for the rest of the night. That's NASCAR royalty.
yeah,
If you don't know who Pat Patterson is, just stop watching. Just stop watching. You're not our you're not who we're looking for.
All right. So our next guest is going to be Charles Urich. This guy is one of my independent teammates on the IVRL races with us on Tuesday nights. So let's go ahead and bring good old Charles in, man. How are you doing tonight?
Charles, you there? Charles.
Oh, let me try the old Bristol intro
Did
for
he
him.
just take himself out?
Driver of
Yeah.
the number 76 Nuka-Cola Quantum Ford Mustang in the IVRL Butt Kicker Cup Series, Charles Urich.
Please report to the grandstand.
Beijing, Mr. Urich. Beijing, Mr. Urich. Mr. Urich. Beijing, Mr. Urich. Anybody get that reference?
Yeah.
What was it?
All right. Well, while we're waiting for Charles.
Oh, Nick's is going to move on.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to move on. I'm not going to
No,
move on. I'm going to talk
we'll
about
leave him in
Tuesday
there.
while we're waiting for Charles.
Oh, no. I meant move on from the reference. You asked him.
I am going to move on from the reference because I forgot what it was, but I knew what it was, but I forgot what it was.
It's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh.
So once I got you with a trivia question again, stump Nick. Bam, I throw these things, and he's losing
So,
as I'm throwing them out there.
Stump Nick. Okay, first off, we have to set ground rules to Stump Nick. The questions have to be related to NASCAR. I do not, and I will not say that I am a entertainment guru. I know NASCAR and football, two things I know. And hockey. You can ask me about those three things. Other than that, don't bother.
Okay, who had the greatest flat top of all football of all time? Great, known for his flat top.
Only person I can think of with a flat top is Neon Dion.
Nope. Long before that.
I have no idea. I don't know. Why are we talking about hairstyles?
All right.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
I got you.
I know
That's
it.
what you know who it is?
It's Joe Namath.
No, it's not Joe Namath. He had long hair. What are you talking about? He was the one that had long hair.
I have to put more ground rules to this because Randy's such a jerk.
All right, from the
If you're gonna
1960s
ask
and up.
Nick- No, it doesn't. I don't care
It was
what
actually
it's
60s,
from.
70s.
It has to be statistic based. You can't ask me if
Okay.
it's NASCAR. You can ask me about paint
Okay.
teams and stuff.
Okay,
but you
what
can't
was-
ask me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What was
Johnny
the first
Unitas?
race? What was
Bingo. Thank you very
Wow.
much, Adam.
David
Adam got
Wright.
it.
That was
Dave
Dave
Wright just
That
showed his
wasn't me.
age.
That was not
Okay, David
all.
Wright got it. Thank you, David.
All right, go ahead, Carl.
what was the first race, NASCAR race, that Pee Wee Herman attended?
Was it in between the times at the Sarasota Theater?
I hear that theater was on
I've
fire.
been there before. I tell you what, I've been to that theater. My feet stuck to the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Ghostfire Media is hiring for an opening of a broadcaster for Tuesday nights.
Let's see. Charles messaged me. Either my phone is fucked or
Oh,
y'all
hold
aren't
on.
talking.
Hold on.
Do you have push to talk going on your phone?
No, he doesn't have.
No, I'm kidding, man.
He didn't have the proper roles. I don't think to speak.
I gave him podcast, or did I give him podcast roles?
I just did.
Charles,
should be
can
able
you
to
hear us
talk.
now or talk? Go ahead and try. Maybe tomorrow, next day. Roles, podcast guest. Maybe if I put him as a bot.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what's going on. Well, while Charles gets his issues figured out, what we will do is we will talk about the Tuesday night IVRL Talladega race. We We won't talk about anything that involves Charles, which is about 60% of the race because it was all single file and everybody was in the back most of the time. So the race, the 3 stages, fantastic race, all by myself, alone, bored, trying to keep everybody entertained. Hey, you know,
hey, while you were doing that, I was eating steak at the Colorado Prime Steakhouse.
Do you know what I was telling people you were doing? Did you watch the broadcast?
No,
I was
I did
telling
not.
people
I'm
you were
sorry.
living the rock star life. I was
No.
like, Randy Pepper's out there right now, and Randy Pepper is pretending to be a rock star playing the guitar for all these people.
Guitar.
Remember, I'm not. I don't pretend. I actually am a rock star. So, or I'm a former rock star.
Hey, you play in a band with Pat Patterson. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And Charles just jumped back in. It's not working for him.
Well,
Charles.
that sucks.
Yes, it is.
There we go.
Oh,
Hey,
Charles is here.
Charles. Well,
Why is it every single time I try to get in here, it don't work?
has Charles been on the podcast before?
Yes.
Long
Okay,
Twice.
so everybody knows about Charles Urich, but Charles, give us a little bio. Give us a little bio
Man,
on
a little
yourself.
bio. I get the bio again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
because
how you
everybody
love-
knows who you are.
Hmm.
How you love long walks on the beach, cookies, short walks with Adam Wood, giving Adam Wood the tip at Talladega.
Well, I didn't really give him the tip at Talladega.
Without
Give him
the
the whole
carburetor-
fist. Oh, sorry.
Without the carburetor cover.
Oh, God.
Go axle deep with no carb cover. I mean, damn.
No. The
Things
only
you
time I
get
ever did
away
that
with.
was Daytona.
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
Okay, give it to us, Charles. We want to know all about it.
Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. I've just had enough. Been wrecked out so many times.
You have found a way to be wrecked out. How's that happen? Why does that always happen? You're like a magnet for a lot of these incidents.
Well, see, I'm a magnet to people blocking me.
Oh, good. Now you reminded me what happened. Okay, so Charles, when you were coming down the backstretch, 14 miles an hour faster than the drivers in front of you, what went through your mind when Cody turned right up in front of you and tried to block you?
Nothing really went through my mind. That's the only decision I had to make is try to get to his outside, which I had. If you looked on the outside of the car, I had the room between him and the wall, but on the inside of the car, I was already against the wall and I had no room. So it just
Yeah, it was a terrible spot to be in, being 2 cars back from you.
Oh yeah, I bet, because I seen you, shoot down to the right where Weatherby went.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was I saw, once you moved into the middle lane and you're like, okay, we're good here. I'm still pushing Weatherby. Weatherby's like all over you to push you. And then, we saw Cody move up. So we're like, screw it, let's go even one more lane to shoot to the third lane. And, Cody kind of started to migrate that way, which just pushed you up. And then you just barely gently hit the wall, which just triggered you to come back down. And, all hell broke loose, and then I just lifted and went left to try to avoid everything.
Yeah, I wanted to be conservative with it and go to the outside early before I caught Carino, but the more I think about it, I probably should have waited till I got to Carino to pull out, because Cody wouldn't have been able to get up there.
Yeah, I was on the broadcast live. I said that it's just a product of that racing, and I probably would have went somewhere along the lines of doing or pulling off a move like that or trying to do it. Cody did, just based on the time in the race and all that. But then I went back and I watched the section of the race that had happened in again, and I was sitting there going, there's 14 to go there. There's still a decent amount of time. I don't know if that block at that point, with him sitting third on the inside lane, was a needed block.
Well, from my point of view, it was a unwarranted block. I guarantee you, the momentum that we had pulling up to them, because I mean we gained like a second and a half, 2 seconds within that last lap or so on them. But because as soon as we caught their draft, I mean, we flew up to them, our 3-car tandem. And once we got to them, I mean, yes, we got a huge run on the outside, but there was like 5 on the bottom and 3 on the outside. And this isn't the old school package where we can make 3 cars work on the outside. If there's like 4 or 5 cars on the bottom, we'd have to have at least 6, 7 on the top to kind of counteract what was going on there. And we would had that short-lived momentum, and we would have died off, quickly right after that and fell right behind them. So to me, it was unwarranted a block, but it was for us going like, hey, we're here, buddy, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, even if we would have made it up there, I mean, we probably could have stayed because side draft, but of course with side draft you risk getting net coated like Harvey did.
Yeah, you and Harvey have one thing in common. Terrible, awful, nothing luck.
Right.
Derek has that too.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
3 of you
Derek.
guys. The 3 of you guys in a line, I feel like lightning would strike all 3 of you at the same time.
I think Derek and Harvey has been wrecked in every playoff race that we've been in. I can't remember if Derek got wrecked at Dega, but if he didn't, that's the only race that he has not been wrecked in. Every other race, Dega, Vegas, Bristol, whatever the 2 prior races at, every single one of them, they've all been wrecked out of it. And somehow they've managed to continue to go a little bit further in this playoffs.
Yeah, I think the only place I didn't get wrecked out of during playoffs is Bristol. Because Vegas, I got wrecked out by Clever.
Yeah.
Did you have a cough there? Do you need a bottle of water?
Just a little bit.
Okay, we'll send one right over. We'll get our assistant Steve to bring one down. Anybody seen Steve Letarte?
Yeah, I like the Vegas race. I figured it out a little bit further in the week exactly, how to conserve tires a little bit more, but at the same time be more aggressive. I think IVRL sets me up for a really good Sunday race. To be a little bit more competitive. But because I mean there are some really good competitive people in both the leagues, and I learned driving styles from people on Tuesday night, and I implement them on Sunday night. So it's good to be able to race the same tracks for 2 different leagues every week.
Yeah, it's what last night our full throttle performance truck league we ran at Talladega, and I told them pretty much what we did Tuesday, and so we tried that strategy out, Adam, and it didn't work out too well. We were, oh man, it's like we had about 5 cars, 5 trucks lined up on the bottom, but the lead pack had about 10 trucks in it. They were pulling away. They were on the back stretch and we were on the front. But we got a late caution and somehow managed to hang up on the outside and make it to third. So I try to take what we do Tuesday and implement it to other races that I run.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. I mean because every league is a lot different, and AOL's 65% fuel, IVRL's 60%. So there's a little bit of difference. I think we start off just a little bit looser in AOL, but I mean it's not that much of a difference. But it's just you kind of get lessons learned somewhat on Tuesday night if you didn't really put in that much time prior to it, and you get like another 150 something extra laps prior to of practice for the next race throughout the week.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to Tuesday. I'm not that great on road courses.
Oh no, we've seen you do great on road courses.
You know,
When?
Charles, I feel like
When?
on Tuesday night, the Tums heartburn turn and you are gonna become very, very good friends.
Probably.
Probably gonna rename that the Nuka-Cola Quantum heartburn turn.
Hey,
See?
So you got that
Free
going for you.
sponsorship.
yeah.
At least you get a turn named after you. We'll rename the bus stop after Adam Wood because I'm sure he's gonna blow that.
Oh man, no. It's more of the not the bus stop. It's the one coming to the start finish line. I ran a
So
few.
the second bus stop.
Yeah, I've ran a few laps so far, but I haven't done the pay to server, so I'm still running 100% fuel, which the car acts completely different than 60% at that point. But yeah, that's the one I got to work at being consistent every lap. I kind of get every other corner so far down, but you're carrying
Yeah.
the momentum around 3 and 4, the traditional 3 and 4 there, and trying to slow that bad boy down to make that right hand and a left hand turn. I'm going the right hand. It's the left hand after that. It's just it just doesn't happen for me. I hit those huge turtles that they put in there now.
Yeah, I've ran a few test laps there, and it's just getting the braking points down because brake too early on the banking, start downshifting, it wants to spin out. You brake too late, you're just going to completely miss it. Brake in the middle there, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just can't.
I'm running into the issue of like I feel like I'm where I think I should be braking. I'm braking and it feels just so lethargic that I'm like I'm going too early. So the next time I come around, I was like, well, let me push it just a little bit further because I feel like I'm it's just going too slow, and I'm just like, all right, and then I just destroy the corner.
So the Cup car
Yeah.
at the Roval, I tend to like that track. I think it's one of my better road courses in the Cup car. The Cup car at the Roval, you probably are braking the first point you're braking at him, the right spot. You're probably just hitting the brakes a little too much. You want to drag the brakes at the Roval a lot more than you think you would to get into the corner. And like every road
Especially-
course racer will tell you, it's not about the entry. It's the exit that's the most important.
Yeah, especially coming out of two. Like as soon as you come out of two, you guys start getting on the brake.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and it's I feel it's kind of more of a technical track with really hard boundaries versus a Watkins Glen where it's made to be a road course, whereas this one's like don't get inside of a cup track that was already existing. It's like, hey, let's try to make this a thing, and there's really no runoffs, there's no really safe places. You mess up, you're destroyed.
Yeah, no real safe places to pass unless you let somebody go on the banking somewhere.
But it's gonna be tough. I think I think me and you are kind of safe if we get just a couple of stage points and finish in the top 10 of probably the 14 at the most that will show up on next Tuesday.
Right.
Well, maybe 13 because Harvey said he won't be able to make it. Most likely, it's his anniversary, and he can't. He'll be in 100% in the doghouse if he tries to
No,
push his luck.
he's gonna get blasted with confetti again.
Yeah.
Do I even want to know?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering myself. What the
Do
hell
I
is that?
even want to know?
Surprise.
Oh,
I
you
love a
know,
parade.
you know if you're friends with him on Facebook.
I'm not friends with Harvey on Facebook. I need to get
I'm
that
not
done.
either.
I need to get that done.
Yeah. There's videos on there of him getting blasted with confetti.
That's
Okay.
an interesting thing to
yes,
get blasted with.
And me and Harvey's running gag is a surprise. I think it was last season, last year when we ran together. I came up behind me and kind of ended one of my nights, or it gave me enough of a shot that kind of messed me up. And then next thing you know, from that point on, he like got on the radio and said surprise, and that's kind of been our running gag between me and him since then. So when we come up next to each other, if we ruin each other's night, we yell surprise.
Tuesday should be interesting though, because there's not a lot to lose for some of those guys up in the top of the points, especially Causey and Gaspar. And they have, because they're both locked in, and they have that rivalry that needs to be settled at road courses. And Patrick has finally gotten that monkey off his back where he's finally been able to win. And like I told him on Tuesday, he is my choice for champion this year. I think he's got a really good shot. With Greg Holt no longer being in the picture to be in the championship 4, it changed my championship 4. It put Patrick in there, and it put you in there. Adam,
what happened to Greg Holt? What did I miss?
Greg Holt has bowed out of the championship.
And the league as a whole.
Because of that last incident that happened last week.
The official statement is he's bowed out of the league, and we won't go into it any further.
Well, we know what happened. Yeah. Wow. So I missed something. All right.
I didn't know about it until 25 laps into Talladega. So I had to break the news then. I didn't know about it right at the beginning either. So I
mean, we noticed that he wasn't in there, and then Causey decided to jump into our general chat to be a part of our 6-man team. We were going to have 5 guys, and instead of having 5 guys that night, we had a 6-man team. I throw out my wonderful sponsors on Tuesday nights there, my 5 guys sponsors. So let's try to poke some fun into that one.
Breaking news, Adam Wood put John Deere into bankruptcy, and they're beginning to strike now.
Yeah, I mean,
can you believe that?
I wrecked so badly on Wednesday night with my John Deere's new paint scheme that they were sponsoring me, and they decided to go on strike this week. So
we'll be touching on that later, how bad Adam has made John Deere. It's all his fault. Their tractors suck.
Hey, Charles, come and ask us a question. Did you ever think at this point of the league, I mean, when you guys started running this league, you guys had like 40 cars, and now you guys are down to what, 12?
If we're lucky.
You ever think it was going to be that?
No, I didn't think it'd be like that, but it's eerily similar to a league I ran last season. Derek was in it, and it started out with around the same amount of people, and it's just dwindled down to about, I don't know, 11 or 12 cars running.
I unfortunately think the field's going to get smaller at the end of this round when 3 people are eliminated. That's what I unfortunately think.
Well, we got to see, what happens with Harvey, because maybe he'll surprise us and show up on Tuesday night, and he bowed out early just to play some mind games with the other 2 people who are underneath the cut line with him. I think it's Joey and maybe, was it Cliver maybe, that are underneath the cut line right there. Maybe he's playing some Jedi mind games to psych them out. But there's gonna have these guys are gonna have to put together 2 good stages. I mean, AOLL is a whole different beast because we don't have stages, so you just hope and pray that you can make it to the end of the race in a good spot. Whereas IVRL makes it a little bit more competitive, where you're trying to stay up there in front all night long. And road courses are one of those things where you try to push the envelope instead of being consistent. You're the one making a mistake and going to the back.
I'll raise my hand to that because I do the exact same thing. I push it too hard and spin out.
So
overzealous.
Unless where were we at? Road America? No. Yeah.
Coda.
It was Road America.
I think it was Circuit of the Americas.
No. It was that other one where Cliver's chair broke and wiped us all out in turn 1.
I do remember that.
Yeah, that was Road America. We were like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I was running good. Not anymore.
It's okay. One of our guys in here last night was the spotter for a driver who did that under caution to his teammate.
Yeah, I didn't expect that I had to be spotting for them under caution. I was checking fuel mileage.
That's I just want everybody to know real quick that it's 4 for 4 on CCR now. All 4 of us have done that.
Yep.
Because we all suck.
And we just need to get Chris and Hannah do that on Sunday. It would be great. It'd be 6
Nope.
for 6.
Nope. We're going to stay 4 for 4 in the TNT series, 0 for 2 in the Cup series.
We need to move that up to the AOL Cup series and make that 6 for 6 this Sunday. I have faith that your team could do that.
I actually pulled something that actually was reminiscent of you, Nick, last night. I actually missed my pit stall and just kept going.
Yes, we
pit.
noticed.
Oh yeah, we saw that. Me and Adam were really confused. I was like, did Randy stay out? Did he get like a quarter of a gallon of fuel? What the hell happened? And then
I couldn't see because Hurst was in front of me and I couldn't see through his car. I'm like,
we both
what the hell's
looked
my
at
pit stall? And I went, I think I just passed it and went on my way back around and said, well, I'll be in the back of the pack. What the hell?
me and Adam both looked up at iRacing Live timing. I was like, oh, he didn't pit. He missed it.
There was no pit stop time.
And you know what everybody said? Hey, you just pulled a Nick.
Yeah, my teammates are so lovable. I love every single one of them. I don't want to punch any of them or hit them with a baseball bat. Not at all.
That's what teammates are for. But yeah.
If you don't want to murder your teammate, what type of teammate do you have?
Yeah, Charles has got, is Causey going to be you guys' teammate from now on?
No, I think it was just a one-off type of thing.
He did say when I talked to him on Tuesday that he is now officially a independent Tito team racer for the rest of the season in IVRL because he's the only one.
He still put the Tito in there. We're just independent rejects that are down there in the general chat. So
well, maybe you guys can be independent Tito rejects now.
I don't know. Like
No.
Oh man. We're gonna have Charles Urich change his number and gonna have him go out there and run a tribute scheme to Greg Holt.
Nope.
Maybe
Wait.
I'll run my sponsors that Greg Holt was running before he left. My Miller Genuine draft that Greg Holt was out there running.
No, I'll change it to the 89.
All right. So, we got two road course ringers that have basically dominated the whole entire series for IVRL this whole entire year. So, it's kind of hard to bet against these two. But I'm going to go ahead and move into the segment of finding out who do we think we're going to win. And I'll start it off, and I'm going to go with our independent teammate of Nicholas Weatherby. I think Nicholas, he's showed speed on every one of those road courses. He just made a few mistakes that kind of took him out of that, top spot. I think he's going to be consistent since he's living down the street from the Roval. He's going to take it home.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
That's actually who I was going to pick, too. I was going to go for a surprise pick, so thanks.
Yes, that's why I went first.
Well, I'll go ahead and go next.
Yeah.
I because you wanted to take that, I'll just take the easy pick, and I'm going to say Causey. I'm going with Causey, and that's my pick, and I'm not backing down from it. I'm going to be proven right.
All right, Nick.
So I said this earlier in the year. Me and Randy both said this a few times on the broadcasts. The worry of when you start getting hot in February or March, that you can peak way too early. We've seen that in the AOL Cup Series before. We've seen that in NASCAR. We've seen it in TNT.
In football.
In a lot of sports, and I think that might be what we're beginning to see now. I can't really 100% say that because Causey won 2 races before the last race. Before Patrick did this last race, he won 2 in a row, did Causey. So Joseph Causey could kick it back up, but I think you're going to start seeing not the decline, but the
consistency,
the pressure of being able to go out there now and say, hey, I did this 17 times before now. I just need to get one more, because he's pretty much locked in on points unless he has a destructive round of 8. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that. It's really hard to win a championship. And when you've won as much as he has, I think it's going to be even more difficult. And I think it's even harder to sweep road courses in a league for an entire season. Would I be surprised if he does it on Tuesday? Not at all. I think Carl's.
So who are you going with, man?
I'm going with Patrick Gaspar. Hey, listen, I was the sole guy there on Tuesday. I had to go and, be Mr. Know-it-all here.
And we got Randy saying timeout.
No, right down the middle, baby. Right down the middle.
Yeah, I thought it was a timeout.
Yeah, because that's this. This
what's this?
That's you and your boyfriend.
That's Randy and the blonde in turn 4. if Randy goes back and listens to the
All right.
broadcast from last night.
I'm gonna say I'm agreeing with Nick. I have to because he's got his mojo off his back. I'm going Patrick Gaspar. That's as easy as it's gonna be. So I think he's due to win at a road course. He's tried and tried and tried every time because he's won. I think this is the last time it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna win this time.
I don't know if those are good picks or not. If you ask Harvey,
All right. Well, what's
Is
Harvey
Harvey
say?
going to dominate the Roval?
no.
What does Harvey
Patrick.
say?
Patrick and Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
Harvey
Oh.
still hadn't got him back.
I think Patrick's smart enough to wait till the last race of the season. I mean, not Patrick, Harvey.
Right.
So, hey, man, it was a blast having you on tonight, man. We appreciate you coming out and joining us. And we look forward and see how terrible you and I are at the Roval on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Stay out of my way. I won't run you over.
Same. Don't get in front of me in a braking zone.
Ow.
Yeah.
And stay away from Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay away from Derek.
Derek likes to go in the kitty litter a lot, so
And sadly,
definitely
there
stay
is
away
none
from
there.
him. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. He'll find it. If it's not there, he'll be inside there. Somewhere there's somebody cooking out with some charcoal, and he'll be in the charcoal somewhere.
All right, man. You have a good night.
All right, y'all too.
Alrighty, that was
dog
Charles
doesn't like to
Urich
look at
from the
photos.
IVRL coming out here tonight, giving us his take on what happened this past week and what we're thinking we're gonna do. Stop playing with your damn dog, man. Calm down.
Hey, so something cool we found out in between segments there is for anybody that's not on our Ghost Farm Media Discord, Delonte Ballard and Joshua Hanner used to be teammates back in the day. So that's
Really?
pretty cool. Weird. They were together at Slip Angle. So I thought that might have been the case because I remember Hanner talking about it. So I messaged him and they know each other. And
It's a small world. Like I didn't know that Gael Brooks was a SHR member, and then now he's now officially, he came over to AOLL and joined that branch of SHR. I didn't know how many branches of SHR is out there, but there are a ton of SHR branches out there that Jason Swanee, he has to control all that. I don't envy him at all. There's so many different branches of SHR out there.
So is it kind of like Sons of Anarchy? Where
Apparently,
you got the different branches, like you got the California branch, the New York branch, the Ireland branch.
yeah, because like whenever I was talking with I think it was Steve, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be broadcasting Gael," and I was like, "Gael Brooks from Fuel?" He's like, "Yeah, man, yeah, we and him are really good friends. He's a SHR guy." I was like, "Really?" Like, it's like it's a small world as you see, like, all these people that you've raced with and that you come in contact with, they're friends of friends of friends. It's like, that the whole 7 ways to Kevin Bacon game that everybody always plays.
What is that? 7 stages or 7?
I don't know. It's like, how you can relate to, in 7 relationships, you can get back to Kevin Bacon somehow.
Yeah. They actually used to play that a lot on the radio station I used to listen to, and pretty interesting, actually.
It said some of these branches need to be pruned by Adam. Damn it. Good thing you're not in charge.
Hey,
So-
Carl's right. First response rejects won't take him back.
No,
He's
I'm
been
good.
rejected by first response rejects.
I will become an independent. I'll go out there and, I'll be a man of one, a army of one. There we go. I'll go back to the old school.
well,
You're gonna
I'm
be
sure
like
in
Matt Benedetto and not find a ride.
Yeah,
well, I'm sure in that case you would have just as much impact on races as you do now. So
exactly.
that's-
That's how it works. And talking about
What's
army
what's
of
what's going to suck is when Richard, now that he's a reject and he wins a race, and Ross finally wins a race, and I win a race, and and all of us down there, Derek wins a race. Derek's already won a race this year, at least in one series, and for all you know, we'll probably win races before you will in Stillhorse running behind those guys.
I've already won a
When-
race after joining Stillhorse, but it's cool.
Oh, okay, that's right, you did. I forgot.
When's Randy gonna win?
easy.
Race?
How am I? I'm going to actually win a race.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, do you have no idea? Did you watch the TNT broadcast yet?
I watched some of it, and I
Oh.
did hear. I mean, I appreciate the enthusiasm you had there for me. And yes, I could not believe that Tim left me out there. He was pushing me up there, and then just last second decided, no, I'm not gonna push you anymore.
Yeah,
I like
you
him
faded
saying
off
June
the
again.
screen on mine, and I didn't see what happened. I didn't know if you got pushed up there or what on that last lap in the middle of 3 and 4. But I saw you in front of Tim, and the next time the camera focused on you again. You were running in the third groove out of the way, so I didn't know if you kind of like.
I actually was trying to get Tim to go to the higher groove because the higher grooves seemed to be working pretty well. So I decided, well, let's go ahead and try to do that outside groove. And as soon as I did it, he stayed low and went underneath me. I'm like, what the hell?
You should pull your sponsorship.
He had too many Canadian coffees. He didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, he stopped in the middle of the last caution and he went and got 3 Canadian coffees, according to Carl Henderson. So
He was. I will tell you this. I don't know if you guys could see it on the broadcast, but he would disappear forever. We were like, "Where'd you go?
He's like,
Where are
"Right
you?"
here."
I'm up in turn 4. And we're like, "We're in the front straightaway." And he's like,
it was
weird.
It was really wild. And like at one before one restart, it kept repositioning him. It'd say move up, and then it'd say back, go to the back, and they had to delay the restart and one of those cautions. And
Yeah,
it was
weird.
a mess.
And then that was weird because he was sitting in third, and then he dropped down to the bottom on our screen, and then kind of went to the back of the pack, and that's when we were saying, hey, that's why he's going out to get some Canadian coffee, or maybe that blonde had turned 4. We don't know what Tim is trying to do. But then next thing you know, like right as we're about to go green, he cycles up in the second. Josh moves in the third, and then everybody else has no clue what to do. Right after that, Blake CD's moving in one spot. I think Randy Pepper had to move to another spot. So it was a lot of different like shuffling around us. Like we're like, I don't know what's going on, but we're going green.
He had at one point he pulled off. We're like, he was gone, and the next thing you know, we see him down on the apron, like almost jumping out of the air. The whole car was up in the air and came down and landed on its back left tire and was like, the hell was that? And he just kept going. It was bizarre as hell.
Gotcha. Hey, while we're talking about this race, let's go ahead and bring in our next guest, Richard Hurst.
did I get us all out of fashion? Don't we normally go cup trucks then?
No, we do
Then
TNT,
TNT?
then Sportsman,
Oh,
then
okay.
Cup.
You're right.
See,
No, we're
just out of
segueing
shape
right.
today. I'm just out of shape today.
Yeah,
Blame the dog.
you've always skipped out of second hour. You just do the first hour and then kind of skedaddle, man. So what happens when you don't finish the second hour and then a couple?
Well, I know
months-
at the end of the second hour, Randy Pepper wants to do Ask Nick again. Stump Nick. Call me
I gotcha.
Stump Nick.
Hey, Richard, welcome to the podcast, man.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man. All right. So what we do here when we bring on new guests, we go ahead and ask the guests to tell us about their personal life, what they do, where they're from, what type of hobbies do they have, and then we kind of migrate into the whole sim world, and we try to figure out, do you have any real world experience? And then if not, if you do, tell us what it is. If not, tell us what type of sim world experience you got. So go at it, man. Tell us your life story.
My life story is boring. Well, I was born and raised in Florida. I got a background in law enforcement and military. I was actually up in your neck of the woods of North Carolina, in Wilmington, where I worked for the sheriff's department until they put me in jail, and I didn't feel like babysitting. Then I went to Laurel Park Police Department, where I spent 2 years on the force over there, up in the mountains. Great place, love it. Definitely a lot of good scenery up there. And went through divorce, landed out down here in Alabama, where I actually felt like it was a bad time to be in law enforcement right now. So I kind of put that career on hold, and got in with a company called SIO2 Material Science, which they make medical equipment, and became a supervisor over there, and love it. Love every minute of it. Got remarried last in February. My wife hates me racing, but I did race in real life and want to get right back into it. I raced a historical class, and I raced dirt cars, and did a little bit of drag racing. Love building cars. My grandfather was a racer, so it's in my blood.
I got you, man. And then tell us about your wonderful sim experience life. When did you get into knowing about what sim racing was, and how long you've been doing it, man?
I started on NASCAR. Let's see, I guess it was 98. And then I stopped for a while.
That was the one, NASCAR 98. It's the one with the paintball cheat code, the best one ever.
You know how old I was when NASCAR 98 came out?
12, 10,
0,
no, 5, 3, 2.
About
as young as my.
I started brother. There, stopped for a while, got into your Call of Duties and the first person shooters and stuff like that. And what was the car tomorrow? What was that? 2008. I started back.
That sounds right. It was 2008, 2009, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I started back in 2008, 2009, and then I stopped for a while, and then I got into the NASCAR Evolution, which I hated that game.
I don't think you were alone in that.
I think everybody hated it. And once I found out, about Heat 3, I got on that, and Heat 4, and I think that's where I met with you, Adam, and in the IBRL.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to have a NASCAR game though, that was on the console aspect to kind of get people engaged into it. It was not the best. It still wasn't the best all the way up to Heat 5 and all that wonderfulness. But it was a way to keep people engaged within NASCAR per se. And
Yep.
I met a lot of great people within those online lobbies there. I mean, a lot of toxic people, but you got in a lot of some really good people, and you're one of them, man. You really helped me kind of really dive deep into that sim world or arcade-ish NASCAR heatness. And
I helped you with that,
dude, man. Do you remember how many messages I sent back and forth, like how to do an open setup? Like, what were you doing for this? What were you doing for that?
Yeah.
Because I like running our fixed setup league. I forgot which American Sim. I forgot what it is with Jacob running it.
All American, racing league.
Yeah, so racing with that one was great, but I just didn't like the way the car drove, and being able to open up to the open setups. I bounced off so many ideas off of you, and you were just there to with the open door to listen to me bitch and complain and try to figure out how to get that extra tenth of a second around those tracks.
Yep. I miss those. I still talk to Jacob. Me and him still have a few conversations. Man, ever since you turned me on to the iRacing, and that's been one of the best experiences I've had so far in racing. And that's thanks to you. You got me in here with these guys. I kind of felt like a lone wolf last night, but that's okay. That's okay. I think I got some new allies.
Yeah, you got some allies now. Yeah, you got somebody who can help.
Plate racing is it's great to have teammates, but at the same time, sometimes it's great being a lone wolf going in there, because you're not having to play the teamwork game, because sometimes that teamwork game takes you out of that winning strategy, or how you could have made a move that would have put you in a better spot than riding behind a teammate or riding in front of a teammate that kind of pushing along or being pushed. I'm like, well, I don't want to be here. I could have dove down 3 laps ago and be sitting in a way better spot. So sometimes, team racing can be great, and sometimes it can be detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, just to add on to that, when I won Talladega last TNT season, I was furious with my team before I made the run to the front, and I was not only muted, I had them deafened as well because I did not want to hear them at that point. And I didn't unmute and undeafen them until I crossed the start-finish line and took the win. So
was Nick in that conversation?
No, Nick wasn't there. I don't think at that point.
Nick what? Oh yeah, Nick was there. Nick was there because
okay. Now I understand why you made deaf and mute.
And you know what? It's probably why I won as well. I was really focused. But
what's Carl doing? Carl, what are you doing? Deaf and can't hear you.
But it really it does help sometimes. Like I kind of went out there. Because I had my teammates on the second line. I could have just dropped in behind Josh, and I think Nick was there. But instead, I made a third line. I mean, I was kind of working for myself at that point, and it's nice running by yourself sometimes.
Yeah, it does have its advantages.
Well, on that note, I want to ask you because I was spotting last night, and I kept seeing you go to the outside, and there were several times that you were about to make it work by yourself. Why did you? What kept drawing you up there?
Nobody was really running that line, and I figured I see an opening. I'm gonna take it. I want to see what I can do. And man, it was such an adrenaline rush because you're not sure what the guy down below you is gonna do. If you get too close up to him, what is the other guy on the bottom line going to do? Is he going to door check somebody and take us all out or whatever? But I just wanted to see if I could actually do it. And, for a couple laps there, I was hanging pretty tough. And then I just started dwindling away, and I was like, I'll try it again. A couple times successful.
Yeah, the aerodynamics there will allow you get to that front 3 of where you're the front on the top line against the guy in the middle that's in the front against the bottom guy in the front. And at that point, the aerodynamics is like, nah, cool, bro. You're going to go back to the back now. You made it all the way up here. Like, you were able to somehow blow the doors off of 4 cars below you and get your nose all the way out in front of it. And then it's like, nah, it's cool. That's as far as you're going. You're not going past anybody. Take this as a win and go back.
And I was working with Derek in practice, and I tried to shoot him a message at Facebook. I was like, "Hey man, I'll work with you, if you want to work with me." And I was trying to get his attention, and I was trying to, show people that hey, this outside line can work. And I figured if I blew by 4 people in that outside line, somebody will jump in behind me and let's go. And
I did it at the very end.
Yeah.
I think Randy he lost a draft for a little bit on the first segment or two, and then you guys were just riding along. And I think a lot of people, were happy to ride along. I know I saw Josh and Chris on the bottom. Derek kind of rode around the bottom as well for a while. But you had, Stephen Dominy, Kevin Haas, Blake Ziti was running the middle. John Gordon was up there running the outside line. They were all shooting the gaps, trying to make stuff happen. But a lot of people want to be that first person. They don't want to follow you to the front. They want to be that person that everybody's following.
Sometimes that's the worst place to be, especially at a super speedway. The first guy, because that's the guy you want to pass on the last lap.
Well, and and you waste all your fuel because, if it comes down to, a little bit of a fuel mileage gain, the person out front is really wasting all their fuel versus everybody else that's kind of riding in the back in the draft. Don't sneeze. It's cool.
Well, last night I was thinking about doing a little fuel strategy, but after I think it was Ziti was the first one to actually go 3 wide on that outside. After I saw that, I was like, okay, they're not thinking about saving fuel. There's going to be a caution somewhere down the line, and yeah, I wasn't going to save fuel. I was like, I'm just going to see what I can do.
Yeah, I actually had talked about that during when we were all running together, not in our team. I was the one that was actually going, should I short pit? What do you guys think since I'm back here? And since I was so far back off the draft at that time, it was like, Carl said, nope, don't do it. You'll get lapped. So, but I had thought about that myself. I thought about short pitting, and then don't try and run the rest of the race on that one tank of gas, but it never worked out. The caution came out. So,
yeah, the couple of those cautions, yeah, I got trapped a lap down. I think I smacked a wall or something happened. And I had so much right side damage, and I still had y'all sitting there talking about it. It says, I hope he has a fast repair left, or or he's going to be in trouble, which I still did, but it still caught me back quite a bit. And caution came out, didn't get my lap back because I had a black flag. And the second caution that came out, I actually got a little bit of damage from that. It looked worse than it was. I think I got caught like 26 seconds of damage, and because I was involved, I didn't get my lap back. I was like, all right, my day's done, absolutely done. And that last caution, I don't know how I made it through it. It kind of was like the Days of Thunder movie. It was like just hammer down, let's see what you could do. And somehow I made it through there unscathed, and I was able to get my lap back and actually make it up to 7th. That last lap was pretty interesting. I saw a small gap. And I was like, I can make that. Fortunately, not. Push somebody sideways across the start-finish line.
Yeah, after Derek went up into me, took me out, and then everybody else, it was hell broke loose after then. So,
yeah, it was hard to navigate because of so much that was going on. It was hard to navigate where to go, and I just saw that small opening. I was like, my car will fit through there. I can hold that. Nope. They shut the door on me quick.
Yeah, I mean, the lines open up very quickly, but at the same time, those lines really shut. And, you have to really look at how the momentum is playing in your favor or against you whenever you're trying to find these runs, especially in the ARCA car, because, I mean, you're able to take that run and go with it. And, you don't get really bogged down with the arrow push like you're gonna see on Sunday night in the Cup Series with us. On Sunday night, you're gonna see that person make that run, but as soon as they get close to them, that run's gonna, I'm gonna push that car in front of me, give them all my energy, and I'm just gonna run out of anything to run with, and it's gonna suck.
So now. No, you can't run in that, Richard. You're not running in Cup, so you won't. I was thinking, wait, you can't run.
I wish I could. I so wish
No,
I
you
could.
don't. No, you don't.
Trust me. No, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you
No.
don't.
Why would you not want to? I'm looking forward to running Cup. I
Because,
hate
I hate to say it. It's
that's what I'm saying. I love running Cup, and I can't because I broadcast. But I'm looking forward to at some point being able to run Cup again.
Well, just get a car and I'll sub for you.
I'll
driving the 31 car.
No, now driving the number 12 Guitar Addict Chevrolet.
Richard Hurst is up in the booth. What's going on? Carl's on the track. Yes.
You
That's
could
exactly
actually
what's going
drive
on.
my car, actually. Yeah.
But no, man.
All right, you won't do any worse than Randy.
No, definitely not.
Oh.
Hey, no, I've had a couple good finishes this year. I have to say I did.
Yeah, Randy's got quite a few good finishes, and it's just that consistency throughout the whole entire race. Like that's what's plaguing you. You've had some really good runs, especially at short tracks. You've been putting together heck of a run. It's just
I like short track.
And it's just something comes out of the blue, and that consistency just goes out the window and just kind of ruins your night. And but I mean, you put together some great runs. I mean, I know there's some of them like how's Randy in front of me right now. What am I doing with my life? Randy's up there.
Adam, I think you just got traded for a first-round pick and a bucket of jack stands because Justin Anderson wants Carl on the track other than you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and I think I just lost. I think I just lost my team founder.
Is it because I'm better?
That's what Adam did. So
it's a
damn.
Is it because I'm better in the booth than Carl? Was it, or because Carl's better on the track than me?
Well, can I say neither of the above? Because Carl's both and better in both.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow!
Shots
some
fired.
shade.
Wow.
That's like the kindest thing
Touche,
you've ever said about
touche.
me, and I'm waiting for the punchline.
No, it was actually funny last night. Me and Adam spoke after the TNT race, and we legitimately have not called a race together since Sportsman's finale last year. And it's almost like the good old days.
So I
Picked
bring
up-
joy to your life, Justin. So now I have a target in your back. I'll fucking do it again. I'll fucking do it
Anybody
again.
who makes Justin Anderson smile needs to die. That's Justin Anderson's
And
idea.
he's gonna get that reference what I just said that made him smile earlier in the day, and I'll fucking do it again.
I say, squeal, boy. Come on. Squeal.
Are we still on TNT? Are we on sport? What are we on? Because I don't know what we were on
still
because I was gone
we're
for
on
20
TNT,
minutes.
but we're TNT still.
Well, there's only like 25 minutes left in this podcast. If we want to do Stump Nick,
Okay, all right. We'll move on to Sportsman if we have to. Carl, what?
Oh no, we're good. Keep going.
Okay.
All right, so hey man, so what's your thoughts about moving up into Sportsman here? You've run quite a few races here in the TNT series. Are you looking to try and move up into our Wednesday night league, the Sportsman?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I got nothing going on Wednesdays. There's one good thing about my schedule is I only work half the year, so it plays right in. I can do a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday and still have time for family and not get divorced. But
You
yeah.
sure about that? Hey, you
maybe.
told me the story about the first divorce, so are you sure about that?
Maybe. Yeah, she actually supports my racing. I mean, I built a 79 F100 custom in my backyard. She hated it because it didn't move on its own at the time. But, she watched me take this old beat up truck and turn it into a hot rod, and she loved it, except for it was too loud for her.
any woman who could deal with you rebuilding a F100 is
Oh, absolutely, man. I took that old 302, polished it up, bored it out, totally redid it. Don't have an engine stand or nothing, so it was
my
pretty
ex didn't
difficult.
like my ex didn't like how loud my car was. There's a reason there's an X behind
I actually built my ex a 87 Ford Mustang Fox body, and
Well, at least you picked the bad body style.
bad what?
I'm a Mustang guy, but I'm gonna tell you what. Either you need to go new edge or you need to go mid 80s.
I like the early 2000s, the Mustangs there at that point.
The new edge
Yeah.
body style, yep.
I like the
before they
Cobra body
went
style
to
of the 2004. I do like that body style. Um,
old Termies. Gotta love those, man.
But
Gotta
Yeah.
love those.
Yeah,
Termies.
yeah, I actually built two together. Mine was a 93, hers was the 87, and I built hers faster, and I don't know how.
I got a buddy that's trying out there building his. It's actually one of my my little brother's friends. He went to the NASCAR Institute Technology out in somewhere in Western North Carolina. That's what he did. But he went to the Ford Mechanic School as well for it. Now he works for Ford, and he's got an old Fox body Mustang named Sally that I think he dumped almost $10,000 into and still has not got this thing running at
I
all.
can't believe how
after, like,
original that-
five
They're
years.
it
or
was
money.
so.
original.
They are money.
Named
pits,
it
dude.
Mustang Sally.
Yep. Yep.
Greatest Mustang of all time. Popular
I
opinion.
think he's got a. I think he has a. I think he's more diehard Ford than Richard is. And if anybody doesn't know how diehard Ford person Richard is, his user handle or his name on Xbox is Ford Tough. So
Well, actually, that's a good question.
Pat
Richard.
Patterson would be right in there, man. He's a big Ford guy.
Well, now
And
that I know
hence-
you're a big Ford guy, this is a good question.
Okay.
You're a big Mustang guy, right?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Only certain Mustangs.
Eleanor
Eleanor love
or
it.
he said
the
Eleanor
Need
only.
for Speed Mustang?
Oh man, that's no. I got to go with old school. I'm an old school guy.
What about Tokyo Drift 3 Mustang with the RB22 I think engine that they threw in there from the Sylvia?
No, that's called an abomination, and it needs a
That-
nuclear bomb dropped on the country it was built in.
That is just
That is
totally
a
wrong.
sign for war.
That is totally wrong. That's just like everybody that drops these LS1s and their Fox bodies and all that. You know, I can't say nothing because I could have dropped a LS1 package in my Ford F100 for cheaper than I built the 302.
If I could hire the Navy SEALs to take somebody out, Adam, it would be the person who built the car you just spoke about. Person should be shot in front of the public.
All right. Well,
Terrible.
So, what's the next track TNT is going to? I have not looked that further.
We
into
are
it.
USA.
USA.
Oh, great! Go from the
What?
biggest track to a small track.
What is? I'm gonna shut up. Never mind.
That's my favorite track in TNT, without a doubt. It's not even close.
I'm actually really good at that track, but I'm not
Me
going to run
too.
it. I'm not going to
You
run it.
should.
Well, Carl, you don't run TNT anymore, so
I know.
So,
Why it hurts.
So, what's your feeling on that one, Richard Hurst? Do you think you have a shot at that, or do you think that it's you're just going to kind of play that one by ear?
I'm gonna have to play that one. I got on there practicing last night, and I'm gonna be very conservative with that track, due to the fact that you get really loose coming out of those turns. So I feel that there could be a few cautions, quite a few cautions. So I'm not gonna go full on out. I'm gonna try to play it by ear and see what everybody else is doing, and hopefully stay out of trouble.
Well, you'll be in the chat with Tim St. Jean, and Derek will actually be in there with you too. So, and Tim's really good at that track, so I think you have some good teammates helping you out on
Yeah,
Thursday
definitely
night.
good feedback.
And by the way, if you feel like you're not doing that good, just pull down on the bottom of the track and just kind of it'll trigger a caution. Then you can catch up when you want.
that'll be the only way you can get cautions. So
Oh man! All right. So let's go around the horn here. Let's go ahead and put our picks for next Thursday night. It's hard to bet against Brandon Bernhardt. That man's been up there putting on a clinic here in this third season here, and the way the field is shaping out for that week, I don't know who's running, so I'm gonna go with him.
All right. I talked about the how much I love that track. I won there the last time we were there, and depending on who you ask, I forcibly ripped that win away from someone else who deserved it. So I am picking that person. I'm picking Blake Ziti.
All right,
I
Nick.
do remember that.
I don't
Yeah.
know who's gonna win. I can't pick a winner. I'm just gonna pick Carnage. I think it's gonna be 20 plus cautions. Or
Oh, pick a winner.
I know. I think the only winner is gonna be the tow
Pacer?
truck company.
Ready? The flagman. Nick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried this for 3/4 of a Talladega
I know.
lap. That
We-
hurts, man.
But seriously though, I think this car does not run poorly at USA, and if we had a good race there last season, it was not a bad race at all.
Yeah. That was a good
Um,
race.
In light of some things, I'm gonna pick Carnage though.
okay.
Randy Pepper.
I am going to go with Tim St. Jean.
Tim St. Jean sponsored car. What about you, Richard Hurst? Who do you think is going to win next week at TNT?
I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, because let's see, Bernhardt has got the most wins. I mean, so obviously, I mean, he's really good. I mean, he's got the wins at Richmond, which is pretty short track. I think I'm gonna have to go with Bernhardt also. I'm not gonna put me up in there yet until I practice a little bit more.
Wait, I did choose a winner.
Who'd you pick?
The pace car.
Oh God!
I said that. I already said you picking the
The
pace.
pace car is gonna lead the most laps, and then Brandon Bernhardt's gonna win because it's Brandon Bernhardt. It's TNT and Brandon Bernhardt in the season 3.
I am seriously more optimistic. I genuinely think they're going to have a good race, and I think we're going to have more green flag than caution laps.
I hope they do.
I think every time we go into a race and think it's going to be like difficult and that there's going to be a lot of cautions, that people drive within their limits, and it ends up being a good race. I think it's going to be a good race. Those guys can put a show on.
See,
You
I don't
just
think it's going to
killed
be.
my whole strategy there.
I don't think it's going to be based on. I don't think the
That's my strategy
utter
at Martinsville.
carnage. I don't think the utter carnage is going to be based on people's talent. I think it's going to be based on somebody making a mistake and then iRacing not triggering a caution, and then we see.
All right, but that's not what we're.
But no,
talking
that's
about,
what I think is going to happen.
I
No, I don't think
that's
that's going to happen because they got a patch coming up. Looks like October 5th. So I think we'll
Is
be all
that-
right for that.
Is that in time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, are you telling me iRacing's actually going to fix something? No.
Oh yeah. It says
No.
downtime scheduled for deployment of 2021 season 4 patch 2 release. Downtime will begin October 5th
we
at 11.
We gotta see what's inside that patch, so we'll be able to.
We're talking about iRacing, the company based in Springfield, right? That iRacing.
Yes.
Huh. Okay. If they fix something, I'll be pleasantly surprised. It won't be if they fix their caution triggering system. It won't be carnage.
All right,
It'll
man.
be a normal race.
Hey man, we appreciate you coming on. I can't wait to see you up in the front of the packs, and hopefully we can get you out there on Wednesday nights on the Sportsman Series to kind of let you start mixing up with the rest of the Cup guys that you don't get to see yet.
And he didn't get to say that he's now the newest member of the First Response Rejects.
Oh yes, I really appreciate that. I'm glad I reached out because being on a team, you have that team support. Being a loner, especially new, I reach out to Adam a little bit, saying, "Hey, how do I do this?"
Not allowed to do that anymore now.
Yeah, he's the enemy.
Even though I'm still in the chat, you're not allowed to do
wait
that.
a minute. I was about to say he's in the chat, so
yeah,
he can
I know.
answer. And plus, I don't think he would leave me hanging like that. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all taking me on. Short tracks might not be my forte, but I look for me to be up front at least at Auto Club. Hopefully, I can navigate that one like I used to do in Heat 5.
All right. Well, maybe I'll get down and mess around with the stuff on the short track, and I'll try to help you out with the short track because that's about the only thing I'm good at is short tracks.
That sounds awesome. But yeah, anytime y'all will have me in the sportsman class, just let me know. I'll jump on and run some laps.
You gotta shoot the admins a message to try to figure out what's the time requirement, if there is one. I don't know. I lost track of that. I think that came about after my time of admin of making some type of time requirement. So
I didn't think there was for the.
I don't know.
I think it was just based on performance.
I don't know. I just reach out to Johnny, Joe, Andrew, Bernhardt, or Ed, and one of those 5 will get back with you and kind of give you the lowdown of what you need to do, and if they say yay, you get invited. They'll add you to the roster on Wednesday nights, and you come out and enjoy the rest of the season with us.
Sweet, sounds like a plan. I appreciate y'all having me on, and y'all have a good night.
Alrighty, man. Have a good one.
Thursday night.
Do we have a guest for the Cup Series?
Nope, we don't have a guest. It's just us up here talking. We were unable to get a guest for this week for the Sportsman or the Cup Series. So we only got 12 or 13 minutes. We're going to definitely go over. But we'll kind of, briefly go over our Super Speedway package on Wednesday night in the AOL Sportsman Series.
Fun race. I thought it was actually kind of fun, didn't you?
I loved the first 15 laps, and then there was some middle stuff I didn't like, and then the end stuff I hated, and then that's my race. But I did love the 3 to 4 wide action. Became the race. I was like, this is nuts. We're at lap 2, and why are we doing this? But it's awesome at the same time to be able to see these drivers be able to run 3-4 wide at iRacing Super Speedway. Getting the runs that they had, I can look in my mirror and just see people just flying through the pack. I mean, you saw the flying purple people eater car of Blake Gordon just shooting through the pack all night long up there. It was pretty cool to be able to see those type of runs that we're definitely not going to see on Sunday.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch it live. I went back and watched the broadcast of it. By the way, Carl, fantastic job once again.
Thank you, buddy. And hey, fantastic job to you going solo on the IVRL
Thank you.
broadcast.
Hey, it's not easy, trust me. So I know it wasn't easy for you on Wednesday.
A lot harder in your job there, Nick, because you have a lot more racing to call than
Longer.
I don't know if I had much racing to call on Tuesday though. I was sitting there.
Well,
like,
you had to fill the gaps either way. I mean, it's. I mean, both of us know. You guys probably don't know this, but there's many times during those IVRL races, we go away and we go pee and come back. We have pee breaks.
Yeah, I wasn't able to do that on Tuesday. I'm glad the race didn't last 5 hours like it did at Charlotte because I probably would have needed a diaper. But anyhow, Wednesday night, there was some great racing. It was awesome to watch, but there were a couple of moves that are nominated for Bonehead Move of the Week. Yeah, there are a couple of moves. There was one where I watched it about 5 times because I couldn't understand it, where Blake Gordon and 3 other trucks were by themselves in the middle of the track, and then out of nowhere, a lap truck decides to pull down in front of them. And I still can't figure that one out.
Well, I in defense of that, because there was some heat on that. If you heard the post race interviews with Blake, he brought it up briefly. But I will say a lot of
Blake was angry.
A lot of times in super speedways, it's easy to mistake how fast the closing rate is, and it could be one of those things where it's like, okay, generally speaking, if I'm going around a lap car, I may tell them where to go, but ultimately, if they feel more comfortable somewhere else, I want them to be in that spot. If Ross felt like he was more comfortable at the bottom and felt like he was gonna, if he felt like he went up high, he hit the wall or something, then maybe he was trying to get to the bottom, not realizing they would be there that quickly.
My only caveat off to that one is I understand where you're going with that. He was running 1.5 lanes up in the middle of the track, and as he went in the corner, he dropped down low in front of them. And
I'm not saying necessarily I understand why he did that part. I'm just saying it could genuinely just come down to not knowing that the closing rate was that quick. I mean, I've been on the other side of that before. I mean, it was at Talladega last season at TNT when I dropped down in front of my teammates and they ran me over. I wasn't aware that I'd lost so much of the draft and the closing rate was just drastically different. So just trying to throw out a little defense there.
So we hear the voice of the voiceless. So I'm going to give Justin Anderson, who's voiceless right now because he's not here with us, a voice, and ask you guys' reaction to the statement. If you're eligible to race in the Cup Series and continue to do so, you should have the situational awareness to avoid shit like that. Agree or disagree?
98% of the time, yes, but everyone is going to make a mistake every now and then. I'm not saying that. I'm not in defense and saying that some people aren't making the same mistakes over and over. But everybody gets some leeway. I mean, look, I think just about everybody would agree Hanner deserves to be in Cup Series, but he's had a few self spins the past few weeks. I mean, people make boneheaded mistakes. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've Atlanta race. I think at the beginning of IVRL first lap, I slid through the whole entire infield of coming off of turn 4 on the first lap. I was like, oh great, this is my first race back after moving here to Texas, and this is how I start this one off. Just got loose and did it. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. It's just is it a one-off mistake or is it something that's going, that's happening more often than not? And that's where you have to reevaluate, hey, I need to get a little bit better at X, Y, and Z, put in a little extra hours of trying to figure out how to do X, Y, and Z. I felt like my qualifying kind of put me where I didn't want to be in the track. And, ever since I got back from vacation in August, I've been putting in the seat times. And, I've gotten a pole twice now, maybe 3 times. I've been a runner-up 2 times, and I got 3rd this past week, the other day. So, I'm putting in the hours of trying to get up there and trying to, put myself in a better position to start the races off instead of being in like the 11th, the 15th, and the 20th where I was earlier in the season. So you got to continue to make strides like that.
And then our winner of Bonehead of the Week
What was that?
is actually the iRacing spotter system. After doing some investigation, I found out that there was 3 people who almost caused incidences because of the iRacing spotting system saying clear. The in-game iRacing spotting system saying clear when they were nowhere near clear, and the large one, and I'm going to call it the big one, it was the great one at Talladega last night. When Kevin Haas turned, it wasn't particularly his fault. That's the last one, because the iRacing spotter system said clear. And if you don't have a third party spotter system, you have to trust your spotter, because you can't see unless you're in VR. You can't be like this.
Well, so I mean, a lot of what the spotter system is doing is it's basing it on what is on your system at the time, and what is on your system at the time is not necessarily what is in reality.
Yeah,
which is why netcode's a thing to begin with. Is that there's reconciliation that has to happen.
Well,
so
the Bonehead move of the week would go to netcode/spotter systems.
Well, it's not only that aspect of it. Is if you're relying on the spotter as a whole on a track that's based on momentum to tell you that you're clear by an inch on a place where in a blink of an eye you can lose 30 feet to somebody because of momentum. You're a lone wolf on the outside trying to drop down in front of somebody. That spotter it'll tell you momentarily for that blink of an eye, yes, you were clear, but it cannot replicate what a real spotter is going to tell you. Like, no, that middle line's got the energy. It's coming through there. Like you've got a split second ahead of you, but no, you were really never clear. And underneath the Dre system, I love that one because I go in there and I've actually manually tweaked it to give me more of a buffer. I don't want those close calls like, hey, yes, I am clear, but no, I'm not really clear. I've tweaked it to give me more of a buffer to where I'm clear both front and rear. So whenever somebody drops in front of me, or, instead of trying to cut my nose off or trying to do something, I have that clearance level in front of me or behind me whenever I'm doing something like that. So I'm not really trying to put myself in that type of situation.
And why don't you tell people that don't know how to do that? How did you do that?
It's within the Dre system. Every system's differently. Like there's just some manual settings within in it that you have to go through and kind of change it. I think Crew Chief app has that.
It does. I have mine set up like that.
If you have Crew Chief, you can manually go in there and try to change that stuff up. I've never used a Jimmy Johnson or whatever type of packs that are add-on to the iRacing packs. I've never used those. I can't tell you, but I know Blake is out there. I think that's what he uses. I mean, there's so many people out there running multiple different spotter packs, but it's still not going to tell you the momentum. That's the biggest thing is you gotta understand on tracks like this, we have momentum, and you can't just base everything off of that. And the first move that he made, he barely squeaked by. The second one, there was no way he was clear, and that's based on the iRacing spotter system that's saying, hey, he's clear.
Yep, you gotta use your mirrors, see where people are, where they're going, and just be aware of people around you. I mean, you should almost at all times kind of have like in your head who is around you without even being able to having to look at where people are. I mean, that's the only way you can be successful at super speedways.
But we'll get back on track. We'll get back to our to Wednesday.
So I mean, Wednesday night was outstanding racing, though. We were out there having a blast, and then Netcode took over. We had some drivers out there that got a little bit too close to each other. They sucked each other up and kind of put a damper on a lot of the field there. We regrouped and came back, and we did see a good solid green flag pit stop there. That was pretty awesome to be able to see. Stupid me, I didn't click one of my tires off, so I changed.
Well, you still did better You still did better on that pit stop than you did on Tuesday.
Hey, Tuesday night I sped afterwards. I didn't speed going into the pits.
I still don't know how you didn't get unsafe by putting your right side tires in the
Bro,
grass.
I-
But that's a whole
Yeah.
that's a whole nother conversation.
So if you guys didn't see that one on Tuesday night, me and Causey lost the draft by like 2.5, 3 seconds, and we made a last second like, hey, let's all jump in and undercut the other people since we're riding in the back. And me and Causey like, dude, we have to go for it. And so we both broke late versus compared to what we normally break in, I think. And he slid in and he sped going into it. I slid in and I hit the speed limit. My right side tires, I think, hit the grass just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It was a little bit more than a little bit, but iRacing gave you the benefit of the doubt.
And then it penalized me as I was looking for my black box. And then somehow I moved up to like 58 miles an hour going on the pit road. And that's
You
where
know what's crazy?
it killed me.
Watching the telemetry, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but watching the telemetry
You don't?
of everybody on pit road from like on Tuesday when everybody was pitting under green, everybody was going like 60. So I'm really not sure. I know it's like an average like it is in real life between timing boxes and all that. You could go above the 55 for this amount of time. But it was interesting to see a lot of people speeding on pit road and that you, of all people, were the only one to get dinged.
I mean, it is what it is. I got dinged. I was able to rebound, and then unfortunate through Charles's accident that he had, I got the lucky dog on that one, and got back on the lead lap and was able to try to make up a few spots there on the end and come home fifth.
Any more thoughts on Wednesday, gentlemen?
It's a good race. Pit strategy was really fun. I enjoyed seeing that play out. Seeing Endeavor cars get stretched out there and having distinct groups. It was kind of a different Talladega race. I really enjoyed it.
I think the only thing the negative I would take away from the overall aspect of it was that last restart. We had quite a few people spin underneath the yellow, make contact with each other, get behind everybody, and then by the time they finally regrouped, we were in the middle of turn 3 to 4. They were still unsure where they were supposed to be at. They left like 3 to 4 car gaps in between everybody, and then the leaders took off, and everybody in that second group just got screwed over as a whole because they didn't go. I was riding behind Brandon Bernhardt at the end, and we were racing nobody because they left so much of a gap between us. There was 3 distinct different groups because the guys in the middle who were left that huge gap just kind of screwed the guys at the back from having any shot of trying to move up, which iRacing Super Speedway, you can start on the back, and 3 laps you can be at the front. That's the way the momentum works there, and that's what I was hoping for, and we got nothing. So that was my soapbox.
I thought it was a good. I thought it was a pretty good race. I mean, even though I blew my race by coming out of the pits, going too fast, and I was not speeding on pit roads when I came out of pit road, and I missed the turn to go around the turn and went up on the banking before I was supposed to.
Oh yeah, that's a steep banking there. You're
Derek
used
and me both did it.
You're used to like Daytona and Talladega where you come out and you can carry that momentum. You're shifting in a third and trying to be full speed coming out of turn 2 there, but iRacing Super Speedway is like, no, bro, you're gonna go back down to second gear. You're gonna kind of coast around that corner, and then 3/4 way around the corner, that's when you're gonna kind of get back on the gas to try to start making your way down that back straightaway. So yeah, it's a little bit different Super Speedway race off
It's
pit
got
road.
the shape of a very, very, very large Martinsville.
That's exactly how I described it. Open the race. It's
Yeah,
like Martinsville and Talladega had a baby.
Yeah, Auto Club's gonna be a 1/64th size of that track. It's gonna be the diecast
Yep.
version.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, overall, man, I really loved and enjoyed to see the different slicing and dicing, the different moves that people were making. SHR, we took the outside line on the restart because, I think about 70% of us were already there, and we wanted to be the outside, be the second line, but we became the third and fourth line at some points. The line kept forming in the middle. We kept trying to drop down to kind of start side drafting the low line, and then next thing you know, Brandon would jump out, Pacini would jump out. You had so many different people just popping their head out, and then they would go 4 wide. So it's not even just one person would jump out. There was 3 to 4, and it was awesome to see, but it was frustrating at the same time because we wanted to drop our lane down to start side drafting the bottom lane, and wasn't there. And then unfortunately Pacini, I think Brandon Bernhardt, they got close to each other, and then Netcode just kind of took over from there and kind of sucked them up. And there was quite a few people that got destroyed in that, and I was one of them. I blew an engine there. Somebody hit me, and then I hit them, and I coasted straight to my pit box as far as I could basically go. I was at like 3 miles an hour, rolling into it, and got a penalty for entering a closed pit, thankfully, and that put me at the back.
Yeah. I think we all had, at one point, I think everybody had a little bit of problem somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, I love the race that we were able to do that.
Mhm.
Like, some weeks you go in Sportsman, it's like it's a wreck fest, and some weeks you go through and it's fantastic racing. And for the most part of that race, it was fantastic to be able to see these guys, running 3-4 wides and making the most craziest moves ever.
Brought a lot of people's talents out. That's what these types of races do, which is nice. So, where did we race on Sunday?
Sunday.
Talladega.
No, where was last Sunday?
Oh, last week was Las Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Vegas. How was that race? I didn't watch it.
I had a blast. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I got up there and led quite a few laps. We were able to do so many different fuel stops and strategies that night. There was so many different things going on that night. I think within our own team, I think we had maybe 2 or 3 different pit strategies going on for it. I think we had 3 different ones because Justin kind of was on his own. Then you had Greg Wellen, somebody, and a few other ones on that one. Then I think me, Joe, and Steve were on a different one. So like I think Greg was leading, and then I cycled to the lead, and then Justin came up on fresh tires and blew us all away, and then we kind of did a cycle through again, a green flag pit stops, and unfortunately, I think Derek lost it, slapped the wall coming off of 4 or turn 2, I think, kind of brought out a caution, and it's a lot of things happened, but it was a lot of great racing. That track, it was a super speedway-ish where you had, later in the run, you kind of had to pick and choose which lane you wanted, and you could run over, the low, the middle, the high line. It was great racing.
Yeah, that's what I remember of it as well. Lots of lines, lots of different strategies. Really cool to see Brandon Bernhardt get a second place there. I know he's battling for every point he can get right now. Yeah, it was a good race. Like, I mean, it kept me and Josh busy, but not like in a bad way. So I really enjoyed that one. Very very optimistic about how everybody ran.
Yeah, it was great. I looked up there and I see that bright orange car, Brandon Bernhardt up there leading the race, and I was like, "Yeah, go get him, man." I know he's racing my teammate, but got to see Brandon Bernhardt, trying to pull together a full, really great cup race. It's you're always rooting for the underdogs like me and him to try to get up there and try to get those wins away from the Greg Wellens, the Blake Gordons, the Justin Andersons, the Joe Densmores. You want to see somebody go up there and kind of upset the situation, and I was hoping that he would get up there and do that.
Well, hey, and a hell of a debut by Gael Brooks as well. He finished 20th because of the incident that he says he caused. But really great debut from him. Started 26, worked his way through the field. I mean, he was a blast to watch. Just kind of slowly moving up.
Yeah, I loved his paint scheme. His paint scheme was
Yeah.
awesome, and
Yeah.
I think something happened with his wheel. I think it's something discalibrated or something, because he just shot right, and I could hear him in the Discord chat, just like, I have no clue what just happened. Like, I don't know what's going on, and he felt terrible for taking out Sean. For it, he messaged him, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I have no clue what happened. I was just going, and then just in the middle of the corner of the car, just said, no, I'm good. I'm going to go right. We're done. I think something happened very similar to a couple laps earlier to Mike Burgess. I don't know what happened to him. He was in the middle of the turn. I was underneath him, and I think one or two cars back underneath him, and I had a good view of him. His car went left and then just hooked a right. I mean, it just went 90 degrees right in the middle of the corner. It didn't just like kind of veer up the track and slap the wall. No, he went a 90-degree turn and straightened the wall. And he's like, I have no clue what happened. So, it's just kind of weird stuff that, iRacing being iRacing kind of screwing people's nights. But I look forward to. I was looking forward to that race. I thought I had some speed. I kind of showed it here and there, and I chose the wrong pit strategy. I should have came in when these guys pitted on lap 21 to get just fuel only. I thought everybody was going for tires. I'm like, that's a dumb move. I'm not going to get tires. And should have went and got some fuel, man. That would have kind of put me on the strategy of the winning strategy of the night. But it is what it is. Ended up, I think, with a 6th place finish there.
Yep.
Got good point snipe for me. Led a couple laps there, so that was a good thing. I think I started 2nd on the outside pole there, next to my teammate Greg. So everything's kind of looking up. Looking forward to Talladega. Normally run well on plate races, but this new plate package doesn't it's kind of where you start, not how good of a plate race you are now.
So it's going to be qualifying. It's not going to be about racing, huh?
I think it's a longer race. Like IBRL on Tuesday, we were all about strategy. How can we maximize stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 if it went green? And Sunday night's not going to be that way. It's going to be a long race. I mean, you can still make those strategies, but that's a long full race strategy versus us. We were doing 20 laps at a time or whatever, 25 on Tuesday night. So it's easier to kind of manage 25 laps versus a full 75 lap race.
So I've only run one race with this package, so I don't know a ton about it, but I know that obviously there's the bubble. The cars don't suck up like they used to, but also the side draft is one of the best ways to pass. I mean, in your experience, I mean, does the side draft work much at all, or are you just going kind of SOL?
So the side draft works phenomenally. If you can do it right, if you get the right people to do it. But you got to be able to entrust that the guy next to you that you're going to be drafting off of, he has no swerve bone in his body. He's going to keep that thing straight, because you're putting risk at it, because to side draft, you're coming really close to the guy next to you. And if you come a little bit too close, he moves up, you're occupying the same space at the same time. It puts a lot of undue risk into the situation. Side drafting works well whenever you're around competent people who know how, like, hey, this guy's going to side draft me. Inside line shouldn't be, side drafting outside line. Outside line is who needs to be side drafting. And if that inside line, that person is known to be squirrely or kind of elusive in that pack, you don't want to be side drafting them. You're going to try to okay, well, skip this guy. We'll go to the next guy. And, but at the same time, you need separation. You can't always be side drafting, because it slows both of you down. You got to be able to side draft, and then move away, side draft and move away.
So, I mean, you're talking about like trust and people not moving around on the inside line. I mean, my expectation would be that with this being the premier series of the AOLL, that, these guys, you can trust them, or at least there should be some guys out there you can trust. Outside of your teammates, I mean, who do you feel good about side drafting off of?
There's quite a few. I mean, you can't count out Blake Gordon. You can't. Brandon Bernhardt shows that he's really good at side drafting. That he can keep a consistent line. You're gonna be able to. I think Ed's a good guy. You're gonna be able to kind of be able to relate with to ensure that he's gonna give you the room that you're gonna need when you're doing it. I believe your CCR guys, Passini and Hanner, I think they're going to be pretty good guys that you can kind of lean on to, run with, to help with, but also, try to side draft them, try to get by them, that, you're going to be able to manage them.
I'm actually going to run this race this week, but
nice.
Stay away from me.
That's the plan for every race, Randy.
Yeah, stay away from Randy.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's true. That car, the number 12, has a very low I rating.
Yes, he does. Yeah, Andrew Burgess. Yeah, he's a great driver.
Oh, yeah,
too.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I always pick on Randy because if anybody has a Dre system, there's the setting that that's turned on automatically that tells you if the driver in front of you either has a low safety rating or low I rating. And since Randy Pepper does not do any official races, he doesn't ever raise his I rating up, and it's always
Actually,
it always tells me beware of the car number 12 in front of you. He has a low
I
I rating
have
of 765 or something
no.
like
I'm
that.
higher now. I did run some pickup races and ran some. I moved my class up to A class now, and
There you
now
go.
I'm like 900 or something like that.
Well
actually
done.
there. So
I gotcha.
I'm not as bad as I used to be. Actually, I run so much better running the hosted or not hosted race, but the races,
Officials.
the officials, whatever you call them.
I tried
Yeah, I
one day. It's
run
terrible.
way better than those. Those always run like top 5. I get into the league races and I suck ass. Drives me nuts.
I tried to do a wonderful Dega race today in the trucks.
How'd you wreck out?
The number 3 guy on the outside, technically he was technically the first guy on the outside. He got bunt drafted by somebody else, turned him in the middle of turn 4, and just destroyed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because we had like a 6-car breakaway, and basically everybody that was in the front just got destroyed.
Yes, I won't run Talladega and I won't run Bristol or Martinsville.
You always
Nope, me either.
You always hope that you're running at the front. And, these guys, would have more of the talent if they're up there in the front versus the our second pack that was about 8 to 10 seconds back. That they lost a draft, and like maybe our guys would calm down, but no, these guys were being stupid and wrecked the whole entire field.
Yeah. So do we lose Nick?
Yeah, his wife broke a vase and he had to run.
I had questions for him too. That sucks so well.
Well, just ask me and I'll answer as him.
Okay. All right, we'll do that, and we'll just
I don't
we'll do that. And
I don't want to know the answers.
This would be great. These were easy ones, I think. Okay, so this is for anybody out there, any of our watchers, listeners, whatever. If you want to answer these questions. So, Jeff Green had a brother. What was Jeff Green's brother who raced in NASCAR as well?
This is brother of Jeff Green. That's who it was.
Well, that's real easy. And if you don't know this, you're not even a NASCAR fan.
I know you know this because he's from your area.
It's Pee Wee Herman.
No. Come on, you didn't know that?
David Green.
David Green. Well, you looked it up, damn you.
No, I looked to my left. Joshua Hanner.
Joshua Hanner. All right.
I use it's called we had to dial a friend, phone a friend. I did that. Josh Hanner answered it for me.
All right.
To be a millionaire. I got this.
All right. So David Pearson had a son who raced in NASCAR as well. What was David Pearson's son's name?
Well, I'm going to tell you a story about a time that I went to a NASCAR race and I was just sitting there and a bird flew over me, and that bird, I don't know.
Larry Pearson.
I was going to say, well, back in 1945, when the Packers were playing the Patriots in a Lambeau Stadium for the first time, Larry Zonk.
And who did the first Lambeau leap?
Honestly, making fun of Nick is
I know it's
genuinely my favorite thing on the planet.
All right. So anybody know that?
Is it Larry?
Yeah.
Larry Pearson.
Larry is correct.
That was Justin. Justin also, he got the right answer on the last one as well, because he's on Facebook and Josh Hanner is on YouTube. They probably didn't see each other's comments, so they both got it almost at the exact same time.
Oh, they win a prize.
Yes, you guys win a prize. You're gonna get killed by me during practice.
All right. Well, hey, before we wrap it up, because I mean we
got one more question. One more question.
Oh, one more question. Oh man, I don't know if I can do it again. It's so loud.
One more. All right. Last question. What driver used to have a lighter and wore wingtip shoes in his car while he raced?
Well, I actually know this one, and there's a good reason why I know it. There
All right.
was
Nick, what was it?
one of my friends. He because I have friends. I have friends, guys. Don't laugh. I have friends. Okay, I have friends. But he was helping me out, and he said it was Dave Marcus.
It was Dave Marcus. Very good. Yes.
I got friends in low places where the whiskey. No, sorry.
I have friends. I was in the bathroom, and the guy next to me put his foot underneath the stall, and said, "Come on over."
I'm
And
glad
we
you
did-
said
and
foot.
we-
I thought we were going in a wholly different direction. It's like there's a hole in the wall next to me in this bathroom stall.
No, I just go straight over.
All right, gentlemen. Now go ahead, Randy. Go ahead and
You know,
sit us out on that one.
You would be surprised how much weight those stalls will actually hold. Those toilets. You know how much weight goes on. Never mind.
Hey, do we want to do winner picks for the Cup
yeah,
Series?
winner's pick. Yeah, let's do that.
I always go. I went first this whole entire time. I'm gonna go last, so I don't take your guys' pick.
All right.
So
Randy?
Oh God, Talladega. Oh God, this is hard. I'm gonna actually go with Brandon Bernhardt.
Solid pick. Solid pick. I can't vote against the guy. He's my teammate. And I feel like he understands the urgency behind a win here because he's going to suck at the Roval, but I'm picking Joshua Hanner.
That was my other pick, but
Yeah, all right.
Bernhardt's a fun pick.
So one of my good former teammates is reared his head lately and coming back in full force. Had a really great finish on Wednesday night, and I'm gonna have to go for him on this Sunday night. We're gonna
Marshall.
going with Marshall Hall.
Marshall Hall. Wow, that's pretty wild. Yeah, I hopefully he'll come down into the team chat and I can hook up with him. But I doubt he will. He always stays on his own out there.
It's
wanna
hard to
hook
hear
up with him.
Yeah, he wants to hook up with him, but he's also he's very low on the mic and it's kind of hard to hear when he is in the team chat. Unless he gets really animated, he's not as bad as Nick when he gets animated, but he loves to use different voices. He loves to he goes to a British voice. He got F1 voices like he F1 announcers like he just kind of switches it up.
And sometimes he does the sling blade guy.
Yeah, he does.
I reckon I like them French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, all right. So that'll wrap it up for us tonight. And we hope everybody's had a good night tonight watching us ramble on about all kinds of crazy stuff. And from the Guitar Addict Studios back here, I'm Randy Pepper. That is Adam Wood. And that's Carl Henderson up there as well. I don't know.
Way less enthusiastic.
Huh?
Way less enthusiastic for me than Adam.
Well, he's got that name.
You don't have the.
Yeah, you don't have the.
There's no Carl Henderson.
You almost sounded disappointed
Here-
when you
here
got
you
me.
go.
Carl
Okay.
Henderson.
I got you. All right, so we have Adam the Wood, and then we got Hot Carl Henderson.
No, I got a better one now. Carl, Harry, and the Henderson
Oh.
over here. With a beard, he kind of looks like Harry.
Yeah.
Henderson, Harry the Henderson.
Yeah, like the Hot
And
Carl Henderson.
Nick Adams checked out early. So until next week, we got a fun race coming out anytime soon.
Oh yeah. Oh crap. We almost forgot that. We have an announcement to make about a fun race 1 week from today. In lieu of the podcast. It is going to be an open setup race.
That's all you're gonna know. That's all you're gonna know.
Well, we'll say this: the car will be chosen randomly. The track will be chosen randomly. The weather conditions will be chosen randomly, and we're going to give you guys an hour to practice before the race, and you got to figure out a setup. And I'm not telling the GFM guys. I'm not telling the CCR guys. So try to form up some guys that know, a team of guys that know setups that you can work with, and I think it should be a lot of fun.
Oh boy. All right, so that's a week from today, right?
A week from today. Please, we'll post something on Facebook with a, trying to see who's going to show up. But this isn't like a lot of them where, I'm going to set it to the max capacity. Show up if you can. We would really like to have you.
Yeah, more people than we had for the figure eight, which was last. But yeah, so this should be fun. So that next week, and don't forget we have racing coming up Sunday night, the Cup division of the AOLL. Carl will be in the booth with Josh on that one, and then Monday night you're going to have Adam Wood and Larry Patrick in the booth for the fuel race. And then on Tuesday night, you'll have myself and Nick Adams in the booth for the IVRL Butt Kicker Series race. And then Wednesday night, it'll be Carl back in the booth for the Sportsman division. And then Thursday night, it'll be myself and Adam Wood in the booth for that one. So until next time, guys, you have a great one. Thanks for watching once again. From all of us here at Ghostfire Media, we really appreciate your support. And we'll see you next time here on the Ghostfire Media Network podcast. Bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.